and every month a patch, and it was great.
Yeah, people talk very fondly of it, but when I watch older videos of it, it just seems chaotic. Maybe you need to be part of it to truly appreciate it.
Yeah, I think the issue with the design was that you had like this very swingy gameplay. Like you had like Fox celerity, and then you had the guy who steals minions and all these combos, and you couldn't play minions higher than 5 mana. And, it was a very crazy time.
They hadn't printed tigers yet, so had that been printed, it could have been different.
Yeah, there were lots of interesting.
Was Tigers relatively new? I
mean, I think it was released 2 expansions before, so like mid 2017, but people never really played it until like
Titan became a thing.
It was played in like Argene first, and then it started spreading.
Yeah,
unearthed prophecy, probably.
You can put it in most decks, and it makes some resemblance of sense.
Yeah, very unfortunate news. I was hoping that this game would still stick around for a while, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I was hoping it would stay in limbo at least for a while.
Yeah.
People are working to recreate it, but then I don't know how they're gonna deal with copyright issues.
Well,
they're gonna deal by it by hoping there's not gonna be any issues.
I mean, it's been done before. Like, fans have revived a game before.
Yeah, I think it's Girls and so forth.
Don't kill another Duelyst. You've already killed one.
Our hearts can't withstand the pain.
So one has to wonder why Poncho is in the chat, considering he was at school. Is Poncho watching streams at the school?
I sure would.
I would too.
I used to play.
Sometimes you ask him PC, and he's like, "I'm in school," and you're like, "Bro, you're in game playing games."
I used to
actually. The professor I'm working for actually banned all electronic devices in lecture, like no cell phones and no laptops.
What did you math with?
I used to play Duelyst actually in school. It was great.
I used to play Duelyst on my TI-83 calculator.
For sure.
And I do all those YouTube videos get like 3 million views.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to play on like those punch hole calculators.
I have an old Game Boy Advance. No, but honestly, I did play the mobile app that they released. That was essentially just like the browser version. It worked alright, but it wasn't mind-bogglingly good.
Well, here's the final stats of the 9 weeks of gameplay, and I think the most interesting thing is that Dawnheart just pushed on through to like 60% win rate.
It's obvious that the next Team Wars needs to ban Dawnheart. Oops.
True.
Why is Magmar doing so poorly? Is it because everyone keeps banning Magmar cards?
Because there's only one player in the game who can play Magmar, and there's only one, and his name is Sibin, and no one else can play Magmar.
I think that's a fair assessment. I mean, Magmar did get like
it's
a 51
just funny
pants.
because Magmar is so strong on ladder. It's funny to see it doing so poorly.
Yeah, I think the Magmar has like 2 crux cards like a Macanthor.
What would happen if you bring a Wanderer deck to Team Wars? You shouldn't lose unless you play it, right? Like, you can have a Wanderer in hand and don't.
Just never play it.
Because the rules say that you can play a game.
What would be the point, though?
Deck, but as soon as you play them, you lose. Right?
Yeah. I mean, you could just like swap the Wanderer out and just put like a random card in its place, and then you have I'm playing Wanderer. Or just play Merc Blood.
Yeah. Last Team Wars, when we were out, we like built the Socialist and then we put Wanderer in it. Just to do psychological warfare. And we went oops.
I played Wanderer Saj for a while on the ladder. People would look at the number of cards in the hand and think that it's the other trial, the artifact one.
That's just right.
I know Morgan does that.
Poncho is pointing out that Macer is also a good Magmar player.
Well, Macer used to be like those really old school players, so I think he's very good with every faction.
Macer seems not to be heavily reliant on tectonic spikes, and I will appreciate man for being able to build deck without tectonic spikes. Who would have thought that Magmar could be built without that card? Apparently, some people thought that, but not it.
Yeah,
So it was a point of contention.
Macer is also pretty notable that he actually plays very old school decks, and like Mr. Brackets / Ryerson said that he doesn't know how Macer makes those decks work, but he just does, and he doesn't complain as a captain.
Yeah.
But I think we are also ready to head off to the first match, so which is incidentally, speaking of Macer and so forth, gonna be Commodore Crusaders facing off the Schizoid September, sometimes occasionally Mania.
I'm not gonna attempt to pronounce that team name.
There is no point. I just say SS. It was really funny when I was at SS versus KKK, and there was some like historical.
Oh
thing there.
yeah.
But yeah, the team bans were Commodore Crusader, KKKK, EMP, All Beast, Blood of Air, Reader, and SS forces banned the Reader, Plasma Storm, Juxtaposition, and Silver Guard Knight for some reason.
Oh.
Silverguard Knight is a Chad as hell ban. I'm getting behind that. We also see them flexing with their tournament ribbons, which I will have to wait a couple of weeks to get if I get them.
Yeah, you're not getting your last report now, are you?
Well, I am if I win the Poncho's tournament.
Yeah. One more chance.
But I'm assuming that he'll be doing some tomfoolery so that he will win.
Yeah. But yeah, why do you think the Knight ban? Do you think there's any particular reason?
Well,
it's like the best Lionheart 3 drop, but I don't know. There were so many other targets that could be banned.
Yeah, Oath, like, if you want to cut an entire faction. Still interesting to see that he's playing Arjun, though. I probably would have tried to play maybe Helena or something if I didn't have Silverguard.
Wait, is Kieran's team the one that banned EMP?
It is correct.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then, because they're trying to buff everything up with the Imperial Congregation.
Yeah. We've seen this a couple of times already. But yeah, Kieran is for the Commodore Crusaders and Macer is the SS team, so we also see Stoic's favorite 2 cards there, so
Yeah, he's playing a more contemporary deck, so to speak.
Because Imperial Congregation is a newer card?
Imperial Congregation, I think, was released at the same expansion as Titan, so it's not new, so to speak.
it's just new in the sense that it hasn't seen a lot of play in ladder anyway, from what I can tell.
It was played when they tried to make
because
the thing.
Because ladder tends to be dispel heavy sometimes.
So you have no idea how it used to be like back in the day.
Aaron be like, do you have a lava lance? He's trying to combine the elements of Swarm and something that looks like Divine Bond in this deck. Because I think I recall playing Iron Cliffs.
It's an interesting lava slasher, you could say.
Maybe Macer just didn't have any other minion to play.
Yeah, it's a pretty good.
But yeah, that was.
It's a pretty good golem, you could say, but yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty careful positioning by Kieran to stay out of range of the lava slasher.
Yeah, but he had a lava lance, so it forced that instead.
Yeah, unfortunately.
There's no way he can ramp till the Tigress mana, so he has to settle for the Arclight Sentinel of War here.
So Kieran is not allowed to play Silverguard Knight, right?
That is correct.
Oh, it actually sort of cripples this deck, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think he was saying. I think
I mean, Arclight is also pretty good, but like nowhere near as strong.
they typically don't. They're not mutually exclusive. They typically tend to play both.
Both, yeah.
Not really sure why he
Although I
chooses
won.
to play the blood tier there. It seems like you wouldn't make that play if you have no draw.
He doesn't have access
I
to
guess
the
he still
blood
has
tier
the.
or emo play either next turn.
Yeah,
I guess he
true.
still has
Versus,
the Tigress to hit eggs.
And a second slasher.
Oh,
Rest in peace, sport.
I think old Kieran can find a way back here. He's got the Tigers until the Tigers play here.
Well,
Also body block it quite nicely.
lucky spawn with the cup.
so I guess with the Silverguard Knight ban, does that mean he replaces the usual spot with Sworn Avengers instead?
No, I think it's more like a redesign of the deck. Kieran is an old school Swarm, known for playing Swarm. As you can see, he's got like Aurora and such. So I think it like tries to combine a more mid-range version of RJ that tries to have Swarm mechanics into it.
Okay.
That's why I take this deck.
That's working very well with the Massive Sport right now.
Yeah, Macer has the initiative right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
that Lava Fire Dance in Sworn Avenger was pretty rough. But it sticks a lot of Tigers, so I wouldn't be too concerned with his board state. Even if you are dead, essentially. Oh, I guess you're dead. That's kind of really bad.
Well, he does have some kind of lifeline there with the Trinity Oath, but
I think you can sacrifice that tempo. Where is this Herald's?
Hiding in the deck. He's actually considering playing Oath.
well, he kind of has to do something because the Reaper is coming.
Yeah, that's true.
I can probably just roar those Tigers. And then I
Go
could
for it.
roar those Tigers in Celebrant Demolition, I guess. Would that work? I don't know.
Yeah, it will.
Oh, he's gonna Primus the Tigers.
Okay, so
Well,
he's just gonna
actually-
go for
Okay,
the.
that works. That works.
Pretty fast. That's actually.
The problem is that he's now just like a.
From attacking though, so he is dead to a 2 damage ping.
Yeah. Or it's just like a Reaper Egg, some kind of activator.
Yeah.
Like in Scepter. Egg 4/4
It doesn't look like Macer has it.
tonic spikes.
Macantor.
Imagine if we had such luck against
Oh, Thumping Wave.
SS. Never happened. His last 3 cards weren't Flash Mechanic or Greater Fortitude to win.
Yeah, he had a handful of removal, unfortunately.
The typical Magmar problem. I just can't remove all these minions and win.
I think here you replace the Wisp because you're looking to find room in your hand to make Oath viable, and then you don't want to refill it.
Can't you just Aurora and just play Celebrant and Wisp?
Could, but I think he wants to try to set up for an Oath play. Like, you want to build distance here so you're not dead to Ripper or Cantor.
Sworn Avenger just kind of seems like it's not going to do very much this game.
Passing on Celebrant into double 3-drop here. That seems reasonable. Move from there.
So it's just gonna be Aurora of the body block.
Would you have survived Ripper combo if you move two to the right? He would. You should have moved two to the right.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Being in the corner is risky.
Being in reach of celerity is risky.
Yep.
This is like summoning a Azurite line with Rush, except it has 3 attack.
No, he will almost survive anyway because Mason could just clear out the puppies and then he's dead to the celerity Cradle Fort combo.
That's a pretty sad play, though.
Yeah. Looks like Mason is also kind of worried about his health here.
You have lethal, right? You just do the left, immolate, roar, and attack.
Yep. And there's the concede.
Recognizes that Kieran recognizes a lethal.
Nice. That was a
Well.
pretty close game.
Looked very long that the Kieran had it in the back. I mean, Mason had it in the back, but swings happen.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that turn when he only had removal. Didn't have any burst in hand.
That's why you shouldn't play removal. This is key deck building. Step 1, don't have removal. Step 2, have flash or dark fire sacrifice.
Step 3 at Tigers.
Here's a mirror of sorts. The 20th Century Boy does not flex with the tournament ribbons.
That's true. So once again, here on the right left is Commodore Crusaders and 20th Century Boys SS team. Looks like this is gonna be a more traditional Bond deck.
Yeah, there's not going to be any Warblade. What's that card called? The 3-mana card that gives everything +2/+2. We played it in like every week, so I should know what its name is.
+2/+2 3-mana card.
Wait, are you talking about a Lionar card?
Isn't it called Imperial Congregation?
That one?
Are you sure?
Kieran was playing it.
No, I think Imperial is the one that buffs strength and health, right?
Yeah.
Let me just look it up real quick.
Oh yeah, Divine Bond is like the attack one, but Imperial Congregation is like Sunbloom, but except it gives +2/+2 for every friend.
Yeah, for everything. Yeah, +2/+2 in a 2x2 area.
Card can be so busted in this one. It's difficult to dispel
But only if you...
set it up properly.
Yeah. Only if you manage to stick a board and like immediately get to use the buff before it gets dispelled.
Obviously, you're playing like Rome. Kieran is making some positional plays here.
Yeah, the Tiger is kind of always a problem in the early game.
That doesn't look like a tiger. That looks like a Blaze Hound, Stopper, Crossbones. Blood tier, blood tier, blood tier.
I doubt it.
I mean, that would be very rough.
So the ping into Warblade. He decided to cash
Oh.
turn 2.
Well, that's
anyway, I was just gonna say the Warblade would have been pretty big board swing, but nope.
It's a difference between
No
good and a bad
Warblade.
liner player. A good liner player always draws 2 Warblades in his opening hand. Kieran, consider what decks you should bring for the farewell tournament.
Well, 20 it can clean up these 2 minions here pretty easily, but Kieran does get a 2-mana Valk on next turn, so
And he can play on curve with Tigers, so I think you can afford to lose a card or two here. You can probably play Immolate, move away if you want to.
could even play the Tigress and just clean up the board that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they didn't actually go for that play.
I guess they wanted to take some of Kieran's mana tiles. Because they can actually take both. Oh, but okay.
Mage Warden is an interesting card, I think. It's a card that I feel is very difficult to mainboard in this format, but it's a very good card to sideboard.
They use the Mage Thorn, which is a pretty interesting choice. I mean, it does have a lot of health, I think. 3/8, so kind of works with Divine Bond.
Mage Warden can be funny against Arcanists in Meltdown League. Or against you. I played against Titan once, and I won game 1 with Arcanist. And then when I sideboarded, I was like, this deck feels pretty good. And then game 2, he played Mage Warden, which I completely blanked on, but I just lost that game. I had OBSs in the sideboard specifically for Mage Warden, but it never crossed my mind that a Titan player would take in Mage Warden.
Oh, he got a bad spawn with the Tiger Cup.
There are no bad spawns. Only bad RNG calculations.
Well, it's gonna be interesting to see if 28 sticks to the Mage Thorn here or replaces it.
Or needs to whip out that Imperial a couple of turns to turn this game around.
Well, that Divine Bond can be very interesting on the Tigress too.
Remember
Yeah, and he has a
actually
Primus
played
as
Boronian
well.
Divine Bond, not just Tigers. Not even I remember.
Tigress versus Tigress action.
Oh?
Who is packing the crossbones? I was packing crossbones for the Melton League playoffs. I got to use it against only Draco. I envisioned it could let me slay a lot of Tigers with it, but I never got the option. Whatever, that was good.
Back in the day when the Megazord was the spell immune, Crossbones was a
Yeah, that
crucial
would-
tech card.
If I go up against the player who would bring the playoffs, I'm like, bro, I have both this. I also had Grove Keepers, Holo Grove Keepers, because I wanted to beat like Titan, because I was playing Josh. So I wanted to beat Titan, but like heck for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
replacing the Bond.
Oh, the
I
Groovekeeper.
would probably have stolen that game pretty hard. Taking in my crossbones and my Grove Keepers for that. I remember, like, I don't remember it, but I heard the people say that when mechs were like a top deck, people would unironically play.
Why do you think he replaced the Divine Bond instead of just using it on the Tigress?
I don't know, I would have used it on the Tigress. I mean, 8/6 ranged. Basically a broken Megazord.
Yeah,
I
maybe
guess
was
he
right.
wanted to get... Okay.
It's
I
kind
guess he
of,
wanted to get more face damage in
It was a low energy play.
with the immo. Yeah.
But yeah, you were saying about the old school Megazord.
Oh yeah, because people used to start playing crossbones on ladder, and I find that hilarious. You would just whip out a deck and randomly contain crossbones. because
Yeah.
the Mechazor has changed.
Yep.
So it just instantly kills it.
Yeah, that used to be the old school counter to it. I mean, the only reason Crossbones saw any play was because of Megazord.
Yeah, its role is and forever will be a sideboard card
Mm.
version of Windstopper. Big Oath here into Primus Fist. What health is the Tigers on?
I mean, you can
It's on
just
4.
yeah.
Oh, just 5. Oh yeah, because you congregated the thing.
You could
Yeah, so
remove
he would
the
have to
Avenger
trade
there.
in the. You would have to trade in the Tigers if he wants to clear the Avenger.
Problem is that Kier. I mean, he's how far off dying is he?
Pancho says there's a 33% chance of lethal if he moves the Tigers and tries to get the Tiger Cub. Oh. He's just gonna. Oh, he forgot the roar. Whoops.
Oh, he can't roar with the Mage Sworn on board.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. He had to do it beforehand, but
Yeah,
Curious
he had
to
to
leave
choose
the-
between playing the Mage Sworn first or roaring first.
Yeah.
Because if he plays the Mage Sworn after, then it wouldn't be in that spot.
And I can't believe that 20th Century Boy is gonna die to Crystalline Reinforcement. This is gonna be so sad.
that's a very interesting that he left the Sworn Avenger alive on the board. He could have used the roar and the Primus Fist to clean it up last turn.
How would you find lethal here? If you can smack with a Divine Bond. Bone Reaper, you know.
I'm not sure the Bone Reaper helps too much here. I mean, it gets rid of the Sworn Avenger, so that's something.
In Primus Fist, zero Mage 1 into Reaper.
Yeah.
What you're gonna do here. Then next turn, you can Oath for a Bond.
I mean, you have 17 health, so it's pretty unlikely that Kieran's gonna finish him off with one card.
And especially now that you kill the Crystalline Reinforcement target.
Yeah. Still a hard decision. That Sworn Avenger is pretty
I
buff.
think it is a hard decision because you're like the play seems pretty good when you have Oath in hand and have a perfect on turn, a perfect 8 mana spending here.
Mm.
Slaps the Primus Fist.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't have done that.
That feels questionable.
Because what if Kieran has the Immo?
Which he does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Bone Reaper is a thick boy, so it
Uh-oh.
doesn't really do anymore.
But the 20th Century Boy is still pretty heavily in lead here.
Yeah, he can still Oath and look for more options.
Think you
And just roar and clear that, I guess.
I think Oath will, like, first would be better. Because you can draw into, like, ping, and then you can just play the Bone Reaper. And keep the cup alive. But it doesn't really matter to
the Bone Reaper.
Mm.
Seems better than wasting your. Is it called Cub?
Yeah.
Well, time for a move that seems fairly obvious. Or maybe they're thinking that if they Oath, they can't Bone Reaper. Trade in the Cub. There's no point in not Oathing.
Yeah, first.
The 2/9 Bone Reaper isn't that strong in this board state. Oh, they're just going for the.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I agree,
No, I
but then
see,
again,
they're just gonna...
minus 6, so...
And I guess they're just hoping to draw into Bond next. If
Maybe
Kieran doesn't remove
Slam
Bone
Iron.
Reaper.
I haven't played a deck with Ironcliffe on ladder, but it's funny when you go up against an opponent that just doesn't have an answer for it, and you can see how they're forced a hard trade into 10 health, or if it's just the true in, and then it's like it's just.
I remember when
The
Vetruvian
310
only had...
is surprisingly annoying to deal with. Like, even in Gauntlet, if you have like an Envy Bear, it sticks forever.
I mean, Ironcliffe has been in the game since like Alpha, and I remember when Vetruvian only had Siphon Energy with this Dispel, and then you have like 310 on your face, and there is a Divine Bond target, so, you know, it was pretty interesting, the 2 draw days.
Woo, lethal!
Into the same old blood tier Alchemist.
Siphon Energy was wild. You guys didn't even play in Tropic Decay before the release of Blood Affair, did you?
No, I wasn't active before then. I only played for 1 year.
I remember that time, that was rough. Opponent plays Blood Moon Priestess and you're like, well, I came here to have fun. Alright, so let's see.
Wasn't over a few back then with Plasma.
Oh, this is wrong guy. So we are moving on to next match here after my Duelyst wakes up. Meanwhile, what is your fondest Duelyst moment?
Hard to choose just one.
I think that when one of the coolest times was when I was playing Alpha Century in Meltdown League, and it was essentially life or death, because if I beat him, he wouldn't be in it anymore. So like a bunch of people came to spec like a normal ranked game in Meltdown League, and I was so afraid that people would like cheat and tell him what he would play, like what I had in my hand and so I blocked spectators.
Wow.
And in the end, I won. But then it was miscounted because it actually made the playoffs. See that?
Yeah, there used to be like a lot of people who just removed all their friends when there was like tournament going on.
Yeah, I just blocked spectators.
Yeah.
It's like River
I
and
would
such was on.
sometimes...
I didn't believe, and I didn't trust the River app.
I would sometimes fill my match history with matches of a deck that I did not plan to play. To mislead people.
Smart. I just played the deck I was gonna play for like all the games. and then we lose in the finals, and Stoic is a very upset.
Obviously, I did my best. But we were
Okay,
playing
so
Explosive
there's
Fury against what's that card called? Gives you a 25 Rush Boy.
Oh,
There's nothing
Saber
that
Spine.
can be
Yeah, that. That.
No, not the
deck.
Saber Spine. The thing that gives you the World Core with Rush. You hatch it from an egg.
World Core Golem?
It was
Wait,
something
you
mitochondriac
mean-
something.
The Abhorrent Unbirth, is that what it's saying?
No, it was a Magmar card. I think it was
Oh.
something like it spawns the last dead minion or something.
Oh,
or-
it was the mitotic induction and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost to that, and then we lost to Underlord and such.
Yeah.
Quite unfortunate.
I played that for a while on ladder. It was really, really fun. But then there are so many crazy counters to it, like the Abyssian card Unleash the Evil rushes your golem back at you.
No, it doesn't help if the 25 just hits your face first, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Woe the day that when your Mytonic World Core Golem deck loses to Unleash the Evil. I think that you deserve that, Elden.
Another memorable counter was someone actually tagged in 100-handed Rakushi. So then when you summon the World Core Egg, Rakushi kills it, and it destroys
Wow.
your combo.
It's fucking 1000 IQ. I love it.
But yeah, in the game we have VPC, FB, HSC, somebody from the Komodo Crusaders, and on the right side we have Coswit from the SS team.
As I can count, I think the play here is like Lurking Fear, and then you can play Void Hunter and Dioltus, so you can like make some swanky plays.
Yeah, and I guess just play around Lightbender by putting the general in the center.
Lightbender is hella cringe, you play into it.
Quite interesting that you have a Dying Wish deck and you're playing Cass as opposed to the Myth.
Dying Wish is usually played with Knave, right? Because of the sacrifice.
You can play it with Lilith if you want the Darkfire's sacrifice too.
Ah, this is rough.
Oh shit.
Chakram coming.
Consort will struggle picking that artifact off.
Mm-hmm.
His best bet is probably just too hard to trade. Or you could ping, because he's playing the ping general.
Yeah, and I guess just run away.
I guess that's what you
Oh,
get.
he's not gonna run away.
This energetic general, you get like slightly better ping option. And he's playing like freaking what's it called?
The Megazord dude.
Oh, I see. He's just gonna surround. That works.
Yeah, that's
So then BBC has to punch one of the Void Hunters to summon anything.
And he's taking like a crap load of damage next turn because the Cosmit also has Chakram hand.
Yeah.
how much damage is that? 7 plus 6 plus 6. That's like a lot of damage. I can't even do math.
That's more than 3 damage, and my counting stops there.
That's very close to lethal.
He whipped the name.
Wait, I think it is lethal. Hold on.
I doubt it's lethal now. Especially since body blocking will happen.
Or not.
I'm
Oh.
in
That's the worst possible spawns.
Oh yeah, the Void Hunter can just go like Frenzy Milady.
Yep. So that's still gonna be I don't know, there's a lot of damage coming to the face anyway. Even if it's not gonna be lethal.
12. 14.
If the Diotas was still next to him, then it would be lethal.
Why didn't he trade off the Nightmare Operant?
Wow. That's rough. That's a
That's
choice.
absolute mad.
Uh-oh.
I would not have allowed the Nightmare Operant to stick. I would have smacked that thing back to the scrap pile. Please remember to move to Dioltus. Unfortunately, not finding any one mana things, which is probably what it's fishing for here, like Void Pulse or something.
Well, that the Revenant Reaver guy is pretty good.
Yeah, and he also has the really cheap Deso in hand too.
Yeah, I think this is looking pretty rough here for VBC. Even if he can like body block, he's just gonna like play everything next turn. He's like next turn he can play Grimes or Vorpal into the 3-mana flyer.
I'm just kind of sad that there's no crimes action going on because I want to see the World Core coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lethal with the Deso.
Yeah, I could also just kill him. We all have.
Dang, this was a fast game. Ended on like 7 mana.
I think not punching the Nightmare Upper there was super pretty. I don't think it mattered, but also he had like a really bad turn 2 play because he made the passive like Lurking Fear skip turn, and then he just played Mono Forger on top. That could easily have been something like Cryptographer or like Owl Beast or something.
Alright, so we move on to the next game, which is going to be Vitruvian versus Vitruvian action. With
A lot of mirrors today. Mirrors seems to be a theme.
Remind me which side banned Sandswell?
Commodore Crusaders, so that's the Mighty Balloons team. But also SS also banned Reader, so neither player can play Reader. But also Commodore Crusaders banned Blood of Air, so SS doesn't have access to any of Vitruvian removal. Except Entropic Decay.
That's gonna be rough.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Well, I
interesting
guess
to see
Superior
how...
Mirage could could be interesting sometimes. It's gonna do the Vitruvian thing, draw cards.
Balanced opening. There are more OP openings.
If he had the
like,
medals in his hand.
I think this always struck me as like interesting is that we think of like Fault as one of the top decks of the meta, but historically speaking, leading up to this expansion, Fault has been a trash deck.
Is it because it's too slow?
Yeah, like it's been too slow. Also, there was a deck called Desert Thunder back in the day, and it used to be so ruthlessly good that there was no point in playing anything bigger than 5 mana.
Desert Thunder? Lost
Yeah,
in the
you would
Desert?
use 4 or 5 Thunderhorn.
Yeah?
You would use
So with Thunderhorn and
you
Astral
would
Phasing.
then you would use, which costs 4 at this point, and then you would like play what's the 1 mana card that gives something blast? So like a backline Thunderhorn, and then you would have blast on it, and then you would just
Yeah, kinematic projection, yeah.
force them to spread out, and you play Lost in the Desert.
Yeah,
It was so
that's
extremely effective at pushing damage that why would you play Fault?
yeah, that was true, yeah.
Oh, and also Lost in the Desert used to do more, didn't it?
Yeah, it used to do 6 now, that was fine.
Yeah, I don't think they never nerfed the Lost in the Desert. It was the Thunderhorn combo that was a thing.
Okay.
Because there used to be... There used to be like the bug with the Thunderhorn.
The fact of nuking the point 6 I felt was too much damage.
Yeah.
Even outside Thunderhorn, I just feel like it's not a card that should be that good. Even outside Thunderhorn. Hey, it was frustrating to players, and that's what they succeeded in printing.
Oh?
Well,
No,
Cosmith
the
has a
Dream
pretty
Shaper.
solid board here going on for him.
Yeah, and he also has the Inner Oasis.
No, he doesn't. That's the balloon has the
Yeah. Which is also pretty solid.
Cosmith is playing a more of a burnless, it seems, with Blazehound.
Oh, you were referring to Cosmith's board.
Yeah, I was like saying that he has pretty good board set up here now.
Oh. I feel like Balloon's board is stronger because he can buff the Portal Guardian and play Oasis. And
Yeah,
clear
and
the...
you Blood of Air. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
And then you just go to town. Because Blood of Air actually gives Portal Guardian attack, which it shouldn't do, but it still does. And then I think you move the Celebrant 1 up. Oh yeah, like that. That also works. To body block the Portal, the Blazehound for no ways.
Sirocco. That is one card that I just don't like him. because the 3/2 is just not worth the 5 mana attempt.
I feel like
Oh, I guess he's gonna save the Oasis for after the golems come down from Sirocco.
that's gonna be an 8 mana play. So hopefully you would have won or lost the game at that point. Or like it's a neat card that
Spelljammer.
against a deck that doesn't have AoE. And if anything sticks, you can just buff them. I don't think that your idea is to chain them into the same turn.
I mean, Cosmith could be playing Star's Fury because he has the mana slot now.
Yeah, and the balloon, balloon is playing around Star's Fury.
Yeah.
He's an older player, so he would have
He
been
knows
scarred
what's
by
up.
he would have been burned by that card many times.
I remember when Star's Fury used to be 4 mana.
When did
Everybody was playing in a 1 row.
I never recall that.
It used to be in beta, I think. They banned it at
I mean,
some point
there
because
were-
like double Star's Fury is kind of like, you know, ridiculous.
Now my things of health.
Well, this is pretty rough when you don't have any access to heart removal.
You still have Entropic Decay.
Speaking of which,
Let's just destroy them. Let's just obliterate this entire board. Leave it with a bunch of 1/7s. Which is coincidentally the stat line of Windstopper, the game's the worst of Sweet Rock.
stuff like Ukir.
Interesting.
Kind of Chad to be playing it like main decking like that.
Well,
In preparation of this tournament, I tested out a nose build that did not run Transport Reader, just like if you were to play it, and I found that Staff of the Cure doesn't even do anything in nose. Because you have the thing that gives you damage protection, and then you have the other thing which prepares your artifact, Obdurator and Ice Barrier.
Yeah. yeah, stuff like Ukir used to be a lot of disparage over the course of the
Wait.
game.
Why do you think he played Oasis instead of pinging off the artifact? I feel like I would have done Blood Tear and First Wish.
I think he
And
values
yes.
having a board, and I think that he feels like letting him have 2 health. 2 extra attack is less important than having my dude get added health. He recognizes that CrossFit is only using the artifacts as an aggro tool and not so much as part of a combo tool.
Mm.
So him
Okay.
like have a +2 attack isn't going to losing the game. Actually.
But I feel like with the Blood Tear and First Wish, Cosvid would just be boxed in there. I don't know.
Yeah, this is pretty rough
Or Cosvid.
for sure. Because I think his game plan, as Stoic mentioned, is just going aggro phase, but Mighty Balloon's board is just way too heavy to.
I feel like CrossFit probably
Yeah.
for long general.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, Focus.
I think that Fireplace is trying to set up something next turn.
Old school
Probably
kids only remember
Star's
Alpha
Fury,
paying 3
question
mana. The old days.
Yeah, Falsius used to be the big boy of the pack. One of the most
Did he
complained
use
cards
the
ever.
bigger stats?
It used to be
Focus.
the same thing, but 3 mana. And it used to be like
Oh.
a huge swing turn. So against Vitruvian, you would never ever place anything in the opponent's face.
Yeah.
Ever. Because it just bounces.
It was
I
kind of like
see.
a Lava Slasher being 4 mana or something. It was just broken. No, it was a
Flash.
4/9, yeah.
Let's play from Balloon here. As he leaves the spot open. I think he had the option of fully blocking himself, but he chose not to do it.
I would probably just back off like 2 here or something. I don't really see any reason to stick around. I mean, Coswit could have lethal here with the Third Wish into Dunecaster into Third Wish.
Oh, looks like he has something.
Yeah, I think that's lethal. Wow, what a swing.
Oh.
In live, he streamed it. Oh, I know that wouldn't happen. Okay, I don't. Was it lethal would hit there, or would have avoided being hit, Steven?
No, I don't think he had any. He would have had to box himself in to protect himself from the.
Yeah, that was something he could have done if he wanted to really be safe.
Yeah. But I think like a place in the fireplace there was like so protectively is kind of like a hint that Coswit is trying to do
There's
something.
something gonna be set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can apparently win games in Vitruvian without a lot of their ancestral.
Yeah, I used to
That's
do
impressive.
that. Yeah.
So you basically skew the entire deck to the aggressive end.
I
With
try
just
to.
like buffs and Dunecaster.
I try to in the World Championships. I try to push these kind of decks to Stoic, and he was like, "No."
That does sound like me. That does sound like me. Anyone, if you have deck ideas for Rock and Rocks, please post them in chat because we kind of need decks and we haven't really done that yet. Anyone, please post decks. Also, I have a PayPal if anybody feels generous.
All right, so we are ready to head off to
Speaking
the
of time
next.
of playing, we play like mid stuff as far as I recall, like mid Cipheron and Civics. Like
Yeah,
those
we
four
used
games.
the Cipher. I really liked that list. Like, it was pretty cool. But I tried to push like the mid Cyrix thing a lot. But yeah, we are ready to head off to the second match of tonight. There's only gonna be 3 matches because self-employed mercenaries dropped out. But regardless, the next match is going to be Juvi's Disciples versus Monolith Zoo. So this was one of the. Yes, that is my team. Not Juvi's Disciples, the other team.
So many birds.
So the this was one of the crucial games for Juvi's, I think, because they were trying to get on the playoffs, but they got us. So. But we banned Malicious Wisp, Olpist Sage, EMP, Holy Immolation, Juvi's ban EMP, Macandor Juxtaposition, and Celebrant, so no big surprises there.
What was your thinking behind Wisp ban?
Well, we had this very strong feeling that 1R was gonna be a problem because Juvi's used to play a lot of 1R in the past weeks and got success, so.
You didn't consider Crypto or something like that, is it? Latir? Sister?
Yeah, but we went with Wisp, so. Beyond that, I cannot
Interesting
tell
that
you.
both sides banned EMP.
We had a really rough luck with the EMPs, so.
Like, do you hate late lists? Do you hate control?
Yes.
You are the enemy of the people.
Yes. We also had a bit of a problem with this set because a lot of our players did not manage to make it on time, so it was basically me and Nif and Lyron. But that happens.
3 players is plenty. I don't necessarily see what you're talking about. Me and Spammer, once just the 2 of us played together, but it didn't matter because he winded up sleeping. Because he a good boy. It's the value hand here, Niv.
Yeah, so this is the second game of the series, I think. Yeah. So Bryguy is from the Duelyst Disciples, and Nif is from Monolith Zoo, also incidentally the captain of Monolith Zoo. Both are very, very old players, so like go way back in time.
Wow.
Also should be mentioned that Bryguy is a grandmaster.
He used to be one of those people who just won every single tournament they participated in.
And they've both written really interesting guides on the dual spot as well.
Yeah, I think so, and yeah.
What guy did Bryguy write?
So Bryguy made a bunch of aggro decks and also like a neutral wanderer list. And then Niv made a lot of decks. Some of them were memes.
This is definitely aggro, but I like it.
Circles comes alive.
Straight up broken. Press F for blood tier.
Flash freeze.
What was the reason behind Lore Master in this list? I feel like that's a little bit too slow.
It's an Arcanist.
True, but you also have the thing that gives you more Arcanists, Illusionist, and then you even have Night Howler.
But they're all Arcanists.
All Arcanists.
So this is an Arcanist mirror match.
You've got the Night Howler boy. Just slap you and just play it.
Poncho says the freeze was a questionable play.
Ah, damn. Was there a way you could manipulate the spawn somehow?
I don't think so.
Actually, there was. If you played Night Howler before you attacked the 2/2, then there was a 50-50 chance that you would get the tile. So then you could also have Hailstone Prisoned. Something. I guess it was no Hailstone Prisoned.
Well, you look kind of like a illusionist that way, so, you know. Gotta get the Arcanist value.
Everyone might not know that Circulus used to be a 1/3. And it led to like most poisonous meta in existence, where they would drop a 1/3 turn 1, and then they would have infinite cards because every spell gave them a card.
Yeah. Because like it's super cheap card, and there's actually not many cards we can remove the 1/3 before it gets pushed into corner or something. So it was really hard card to remove, unless you were playing Magmar, but you know.
Yeah, but if we were playing Magmar, you just died at least, because they went like, this is a 4/6 now, and Magmar said, well, okay.
Yeah, Sleep Dasher. That used to... I remember there was a lot of discussion about Sleep Dasher back in the day. Because a lot of people thought it was a
Kara, Wolves, Moa, Sleep Dasher. Thank you, Brian. I'm just going to go back and check the deck and just steal it. This is how Rock and Rock plays. We just steal uses.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this is like pretty old school, like Wanderer list. The Sleep
well,
Dasher
at least
sounds.
not playing the thing that lets you get a mana whenever you kill something, like 2 mana Gotatsu, but you get a mana instead. Never really understood why they designed Night Howler the way they did. It's like thing, but you would want to get an Arcanist, right? Not a Vesper.
Yeah, it's surprisingly awkward to fit in an Arcanist deck, because there's like Bloodbound Mentor and other stuff that just fits better.
Yeah, well, back then that Bloodbound Mentor didn't exist.
Oh, okay.
It still feels odd. Like, it's a 3 mana 3/3. but then it's a 4-mana 4/4, and even then it still feels kind of iffy if it's good.
Mm.
If you have an owl on board, then most things are good.
Also kind of somewhat sad that Vespers were never really a thing in the history Duelyst, even though that was the main thing what are always had going on for them.
Oh, he could
Yeah.
actually get the hailstone back and bounce it again. That's kind of broken.
That's why you play Alcuin Lore Master.
Masters, you can bounce their Hailstone Prisms and just soft lock them out of the game. Seems like Guy just lost here. Guy needs
Yeah,
a mode to get back, but even then,
that was pretty brutal. And remember that he doesn't have access to EMP.
Mm.
he has to play Ironclad and make sure that Niv plays it.
How do you play Ironclad in Kara?
I don't think there's a way you can kill your own minion in Vanar. There's one in Vitruvian, because you can play Herida Mickey, but I don't think there's a way in Vanar. You can martyr them in Lion
What would be
but
a
that's like
way?
8 mana.
What would be a way to deal with this board?
I speak for once. Mom said it's my turn on the Xbox. That's how Sleep Dasher goes right now.
Oh no, but the last spell cast was the DBS.
Yep.
That's pretty good. Like, your things get bigger. You're stronger, better. You can even do Mana Forger, because then the spell's gonna be free, so it's broken.
Does the Sleep Dasher only reactivate when it's on the other side of the board, or?
No, you're mixing it up with Froststone Rhino. It reactivates whenever it destroys something.
Oh, okay.
Regardless of where it's destroyed. Froststone Rhino gets celerity when it's infiltrated. I have not to this day actually seen a successful Froststone Rhino deck.
The Sleep Dasher used
I've
to be
only
like
seen
the
it in
AoE
Gauntlet.
clear card.
Yeah, you play Boundless Courage.
Yeah.
And then it's like, this thing gets reactivated a million times.
That's the combo that caused a lot of ups there, like back in the day, but
Don't
one
think
was
I'm,
just
like,
broken
I think
back
that,
then, so
like, once or twice happened to me. I don't even recall getting destroyed by facts and logic on that.
yeah.
Sequencing forces you to mill. That was sad. Illusion will never.
Oh man.
That guy is almost dead. What would Boundless Courage do here? It would let him clean off most things, but the 3/9.
I can
guess
tell you
Bound-
the answer is probably not very much.
He could play. No, I don't think he can kill Niv from here.
Yeah, he's just dead
Well,
next because Niv has the Trinity Wing. And he can buff the general and use the damage.
My guy is gonna find a way to play EMP here and not lose the game. Believe me. You don't get that Grandmaster title for nothing.
He plays
Well, I
Crimes
guess
and he
there's
pops out
light
the
in
EMP.
there.
Yeah, he plays Grimes and then he gets the gate and then he just.
Gate wouldn't save him though, I don't think.
I had that
Would
happen to me in a tournament. I'd already lost the game, but it was like, oh well, this is the thing.
He's trying to body block the 3/9 there, but
Oh, he gives him flying!
yeah.
I think he's just BMing at this point.
I think he's actually dead. Yeah. Because the thing doesn't have
wait.
enough attack. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way he's gonna survive this turn. unfortunately.
always bothered me that the ice drake or the worm or whatever it's called, or the drake, I don't know what it's called, has arms. Why does it have arms? Is it
Wait,
supposed to
can
be
he
like
just
Rayquaza?
trade in the Albeast and the Knight into the State Dasher and then go forward and yeah, and kill with the Trinity Wing? Oh, okay, that works too.
Just go
Wow.
face, it's easier.
Yeah, there was no need to remove the State Dasher. You can just go diagonally up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Alright, I gotta go to lunch.
Have a good lunch.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the cast.
Thanks for dropping by and good luck next month.
Yep.
And then there were 2. So what set are we wanting now?
What?
Now.
Sorry,
Oh,
can you
it's
say?
you!
Yes, me.
Icy Fire.
So it's me versus Icy Fire.
Why are you not replacing the Herald here?
Because it's a 2-drop.
See, I can scream in your ear when you play.
I think
I
this
like
was
the fact that you
basically
played
your
Dawnheart, though.
deck with Dominate Wills, because Dominate Wills.
I feel like we should play Dominant Will, because we had EMP banned last week. Again, SS. And they were like, bro. you, what did we wind up playing instead? We played like Mirage and stuff.
I think we're also playing Mirage in this list. I mean, if it's my list, I'm playing Mirage, but I don't remember if this one had Mirage.
Time will tell, I guess. You have Second Wish. I hope you have like Aymara or something.
I don't think so. I have Heimer.
Aymara, never invincible.
Yeah, well, I never really like Aymara has always been kind of tricky card to play. It's a strong card, but it's kind of hard to make best use of. But the Second Wish in Aymara is just kind of you're just waiting super hard at that point if you manage to do that.
I guess I saw Duelyst, and I guess that Second Wish goes very well with that card.
Yeah, it goes well with the Sworn Avenger as well.
Yeah, it really does. First Wish is good with Sworn Avenger, but the Second Wish just takes it to the extreme.
Yeah. 4 attack range is always kind of broken. Unfortunately, they're playing Lightbenders. I don't know why people play Lightbenders.
And it's kind of cheating.
Why are you having fun playing this game?
Scorn is still pretty strong. There's a random obelisk there, so I'm assuming you're not playing golems.
No, it's just a 2-drop, I think. Also, dead giveaway that this is not my list.
Nibs or livers?
I think Nif made this list actually. I just never understood why people like Lava Storm. I just don't.
I know you don't like the card, but it's like good if you go player 1. You can say this row is forbidden. Yeah, and you just don't want it to ramp. And ever see the Nimbus? Almost seems like this should be a Xerix list almost. You had grapplers in this list, I take it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You have like a quality constraint.
I think so as well. Yeah.
I'm always curious how people actually fit these cards into decks, because when I'm always building decks, I feel like I put in the things that you have to put in, and then it's like you have no more deck space.
Yeah, that happens a
Like-
lot with the Vetruvian lists.
Happens with all lists. Like, no, now I added like the cards I needed to add, and then it's like, oh, I have 38 cards in the deck. So then you only have put in like the fun cards.
And then you're like, well, I cannot play the deck I want anymore. So,
Yeah. Like, how do you draw in this deck? I guess the idea is you don't need to.
yeah, it's pretty flat curve. So, like as you can see, it's had a lot of 4 and 5 drops and 6 drops. So you're not gonna be playing too many minions per turn.
Yeah. How's your fire letting you hit that? Why did you move back there?
I think we are going for the score Nimbus play.
Oh, okay. I guess that has synergy.
Also, I'm
Feel-
just scared of Icy Fire.
Yeah, I mean they are a part of like one of the stronger teams. Strongest. Also replacing at the end of the turn like a champ. I appreciate
Yes,
that.
yes, of course.
Sure that you've already decided on the play and you're not gonna let anything change your mind.
Yeah.
Strong-willed. Obviously the Dauntless wouldn't have changed anything.
No. Dauntless is super hard card to play. Like it's 4 mana, so that's a super hard mana point to, use. Because if you're 6 mana, you're not usually want to play Dauntless. If you're 4 mana, you usually have some other cards you need to be playing.
Yeah, but you need to tech your deck for being able to use the Tombstone, because I feel like a 4 mana 5/3 and then a 0/8 provoke isn't good enough on its own. You like need to buff cards that can use it.
Yeah, and that's Reader is pretty rough.
So you have the option of playing Swarm King here, with the opponent only having 4 cards in hand. Is that something you will risk?
Well, the score is a lot more tempting this turn. Get rid of 2 minions and you can clean up the artifact.
Oh yeah, you can also play the artifact.
Hmm.
Then you probably replace Dialtus, I believe, because you're not going to be playing it in some time.
Yeah, I think so. But I really wanted to play Swarm King this turn. But the scorn value, I think, is too high here.
Scorn value do be a thing.
Yeah.
Blood of Air obviously isn't better. You're choosing not to take the tile, though.
No, I think I was saying like at that point, I want to play Swarm King. And then Neve was like, but Scorn? And I was like...
So here you need to think about playing around both Blood of Air and Grapple.
And there goes the... Yeah, and then just putting the obelisk there to sync up Papahita, I guess.
Yeah, Blood of Air lets him clean up the board. And
Yep.
he actually can just hard with the artifact equipped.
Hmm.
Better to not letting him slap the obelisk for free there to force him to use up a charge on either your face or the Scornio.
Hmm.
But your hand looks kind of fire, like you got answers and you got proactive play, so I wouldn't be overly worried.
Yeah, it's just that his hand is also pretty full with 4 cards and he has an artifact and it's kind of...
If you grapple behind himself, move 2 forward and take up the score.
Yeah.
That would be pretty bad for you.
Yeah, if he has no, he can't grapple this turn. He can only grapple the obelisk. Yeah.
Yeah.
this is a pretty good turn-ish for me, because this gives me more time to play Swarm King.
Gives you an opportunity, but it's banking very hard on him not having
Removal.
any removal.
So the second wish is a pretty good combination with the Nimbus here, so...
Yeah, second wish into Nimbus seems pretty good here. It's gonna force you down a little bit on cards. Like you can take out the 2/2 with face, and then you can wish on the Scorn and take out the artifact, I guess.
Yep.
Thing is, he doesn't have his BBF, cannot shrink like your Nimbus and take it over. So this is like the one turn where you can play it without risk of it getting stolen.
And then just playing into Lost in the Desert.
Lost in the Desert is like it's pre 1.96 patch. But even to clean off the Nimbus. That's the funny part. It's so swole.
And Nimbus is a big boy. Unfortunately, Blood of Air comes down.
Yeah, no fun allowed in this meta.
No.
You draw grapple, so that's pretty good. Like Swarm King, and then into grapple seems like a pretty solid follow up. I don't think he's gonna have anything else stealing, right?
Yeah, Swarm King here is like super good.
Would you have a vision in this deck? A monolithic visions?
No, unfortunately, because that card is the best card.
Yeah, right now it's like where it could be clutch. Where you can just like break the game entirely and just play stuff that wasn't intended to be in the game. And Mirage Masters and like.
Oh man, Mirage Master is like one of my favorite cards. This plot here is a very sad card. But I still think you just like play Swarm King here, like no question asked.
Yeah, you can even replace the Blood of Air if you don't like it here. Like you Blood of Air, or sorry, you replace the Blood of Air and then you just move up, take out the Dervish, and then you Swarm King, and then you can choose between shrinking the Dervish to make sure you don't take damage, or shrinking the Blood Tier to make sure it can't trade.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just crapping here. That's weird.
It is a safer play. But I think I would have forced them to have a Blood of Air or Sandstorm here.
I'm not sure why I played Cracknell, but
one idea could be force them to have a Blood of Air, and then you can follow up with a Grapple or a Swarm King, and then they might not have anything.
Mm.
Mara Healer would be pretty broken here, actually.
Yep.
Favorite thing is when you play a Mara Healer into Warbird. So you're paying off the Amara and taking 5 and healing for 5.
Mm.
It's kind of uncommon to see a Mara ladder these days.
It has been uncommon for a very long time now, unfortunately. Just don't have the space for like a 6 mana wait turn, maybe get something out of it.
Yeah, Swarm King is just like removed from it.
Yeah.
For Sash and Sash only. And will wander, of course. Who knows? Maybe I play a super heavy Sephiron deck into Poncho's goodbye tournament. And I choose much to sideboard in 6 even heavier cards.
Well, this is what happens when you don't play Swarm King. I mean, at this point it's kind of frustrating because you have Swarm King in hand and you have had so many close opportunities to play it, and then it's just react.
Yeah, I feel like that taking over the Turkish belt. Questionable. I feel like you overvalued how much the swing would mean. Like you would have left the 2-1 Blood Tier alive, or a 0-1 Blood Tier even if you decided to shrink that. And then you would have a Blood Tier, then you would have forced Sandstorm Blower for them.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been better than just taking over 2-2. Because the grapple would have allowed you to position differently. Now you shrink the oh no, you have 4 mana exactly. Yeah, no, then I think that you absolutely play Duelyst here. I think you don't play Duelyst in Tile though. I feel like that's incorrect.
Yeah, I think so too now. Now that I'm looking at it, it's sort of played behind him.
Ooh, replicant speaking. And here I was saying you don't have draw. How terribly mistaken I am.
Well, we have the best kind of draw.
Truly. Next turn you can play replicant into Swarm King into BBS. That seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Just gotta make sure how many you played, because the last one doesn't actually recycle itself.
I do think I do get the Swarm King out next turn, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, unless Icy Fire themselves, of course, play Swarm King, then you kind of lose if you do the same.
Yeah. Blast doesn't actually respond to Blast, which has always been the biggest question mark, like why, but you know.
Doesn't?
Nope.
That
Blast
weird.
never counterattacks.
Never at all.
No.
Oh.
It's also interesting that if you blast a range minion, like if you target a range minion, the range minion will counterattack. But if you just blast along the line, then the minion will not counterattack.
Well, there's the Aymara.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. Like, Icy Fire just has all the cards to make my life super difficult.
I guess. But I think that you can probably just make the replicant play. I think replacing replicant is mistaken. I also would not place it somewhere you would allow Aymara to value trade. I think you want to force the Aymara to trade into the grapple. Wow, this is fine tuning it. I would shrink the Aymara here.
Yep.
I think you can hold the first wish, honestly.
Yep. I think it might go on the Dialtus, so the... Yeah. I'm not sure why. Actually, never mind. Should never go to Dialtus.
Yeah. The only reason you would do that is if you first wish the Dialtus to make sure that it doesn't die to Aymara. So then you first wish the Dialtus and then shrink the Aymara. But then you're not playing Swarm King, so...
Yeah, I think that's a shrinking Aymara here.
Where's the opponent?
I'll just play Swarm King, yeah.
You could... No, you could have played it like...
Oh no.
No, that was probably...
Dominate will want...
would have been... Oh, busted if you do it last turn. Because you could have traded in the grapple and then you could have stolen it.
Yeah, I think that's actually why we played the first fish, because we really wanted the Dominate will.
No, it gets destroyed.
I mean, that's rough.
Let's just hope that they miss target and blood of air the replicant. You can only dream. taken an awful long time here, Bloodberry. It's a very difficult play, might I add.
Yeah, especially when you have 2 cards in hand. Well, there's the safety Azure Herald in the corner.
So he has the option here of making a safer trade with the Amara, where he would. Okay, he's going for the. Oh yeah, he died. I can't read things apparently. Oh, he just does that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like you wanna make sure that you don't lose 2 random sense worlds in the light when you have an active Imara. Catch in the dying ritual you can. So here the play is pretty obvious in that you take over, you dominate Will.
No, we just go. This is go time.
Yeah. Interesting that you were thinking about replacing the dominate Will. It seems like that's actually a card you want here. Unless you specifically had shown them dominate Will, then it's sensible to want to replace it maybe.
I mean, I still kind of feel like I had a pretty good chance, even with 4 health here, which is why I moved forward.
You can actually have done a pretty good, cool thing here. If you placed the Nimbus below the Dialthus instead, you could have moved to it and dominate willed it in case he had a grapple mob zone.
Yeah, true.
That like he's stopped picking, of course, and he's only already played 1 MR, so maybe you were ruling that out and feeling like the position, slightly better position is more important.
You presume so much of us that I'm like taken personally.
The fact that the replicant stays there and guards the zooming sand is a very nice touch.
Yeah.
What is your role in life? Stand on this pile of sand. That is your role.
Just clog up the poop hole. It's gonna be fine.
It's sand in my shoes all the time.
Yeah. You don't even summon Mechasur, but you can stand on this pile of dirt.
No.
Yeah, this was
Replicant synergy with mechs have been questionable. It's really only or has a proper usage for it.
Yeah.
Because you have Oakenheart, which gives it +2, +1/+1.
Yeah, this was a pretty awkward turn by all accounts.
You Sand Swirl or Sand Swirl though?
Well, you Sand Swirl the poop tile.
Yeah, how many replicants have you played?
I think one.
You can Sand Swirl your own replicant, and that wouldn't actually give you more replicants to play from your deck. But I think that was... Oh no, yeah, you could have done that. You could have Sand Swirl your own replicant and then replayed it.
But now we can do the Sand Swirl Reader Azure Herald into Azure Herald play.
Yeah.
Except they play Monolithic Visions because that's rude.
You may be dead here. Legends foretell you would play Rasha's Curse into quintuplet Third Wish. How much damage would that be? More than enough.
A lot of damage. I think this is my favorite moment in the game because like you're just like thinking there like, does he have lethal? And it's super likely they have lethal. And then you're just thinking what kind of lethal it could be.
Double Bone Swarm into Rasha's. Repulsor Beast dial this into Lost in the Desert.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
Oh, Simulacra Obelisk. Hey, they're playing obelisks.
Parent Strike. When have you seen that card?
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's got build 2, though, for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, it's a 5/5 blast, so you gotta take your time.
You could have hit 4/4. I'd give it a build 1. It's like build had such like interesting things it could do.
Yeah.
They only made so many, and then they just moved on with the new keyword in Intensify and Throne Creatures, and it's just like, oh, we don't care about build anymore now that we like that's the last expansion. The only real keyword and concept they revisited was Blood Surge.
Yeah. But that was because the Blood Surge was broken.
Why are you? If you're gonna sense for Pilling, right? Yeah, like that. Cool. You smacked Aroni with the 3/6.
Yeah. No, we clean up the one of the build minions with the 3/6, so the Lava Storm.
Yeah, then you shrink it and then you just slap it. Interesting that you choose not to bring it help closer. I guess you wanted to find a way to clean off the Simulacra.
No, the Parent Strike. We wanna get rid of the
Oh
Parent
yeah,
Strike.
the Baron Strike.
Yeah. Because it's a
Well,
5/5
supposed to
blast,
run
so it's kinda hard to remove.
So now you most likely are dead. He's got like every card he drew from his hand from Monolithic Visions. How many cards did he play post Vision? He played
3. Parent Strike into Lava Storm into Simulacra.
and in Oasis so far. He's got
Yeah.
2 at best.
And then he finds a Lightbender
Bruh, no.
into Crapnel.
We're gonna grapple Visions. That's hella broken.
And that was from the Visions, which is kind of...
The Visions heated his cold.
I mean, when I play Visions, I just like get Battle Beds and those cards that I can play, like the Aurora's Tears.
Pretty good if you get both Fold and Raid at the same time. Then it's
Yeah, true.
But then Fold is a 2-mana card, so you don't actually need Rain.
Yeah.
No, have you got a Replicant left in your deck? I haven't kept track.
And this is kind of
You
like, yeah, moment. Because we could, if he had stayed in place before we replaced, we could have dominated the Crapnel and then moved back. And we would
It's
survived.
definitely a dominate wheel moment. You just have to hope that they place like a World Core Golem in your face or something so that you can like steal it. We played against SS one week. I don't know if you casted it, but they played Dominant Wheeling or Vorpal Weaver, and that was pretty rough. Very unfair. And leading up to that point, they'd also Lightbender our Shane play. We could not catch a break, I think.
Psychic content is just rude. Because I think they also got it from the Monolithic Visions. So,
Did they?
yeah, it was discounted for. I mean,
Oh,
they
that's
had
rough.
like the perfect cards out of the Visions.
Man, they must have been storing these vision cards forever. Like, no. In due time, it will win the game.
Which was fair because it did. Alright, so we have more Prykai here. And Myth action. I think this is the game where Prykai is actually cosplaying as another player, Icy Fire. Maybe.
Oh, don't you mean the other way around?
Yes.
That Icy Fire's logged in as Bry Guy.
No, probably Icy Fire had to go because we had a very long break when we were trying to schedule things.
Oh,
so,
you mean like that? I thought you meant that. Okay, yeah, I know, I got you.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
So Bry Guy logged in to play this game with Nif.
And just coming here, flaunting his 9 tournament ribbons. Where's the most tournament ribbons of them all? I know there's like a tournament.
I think
ribbon
Bry
watch.
Guy is pretty up there, but I think there was somebody with like 13 or something.
Yeah, that's just inhuman. They should share some. Redistribute them.
Yeah. We're just gonna actually Google that. Because Boronian has made some watches. So Mean Maxer has 12 ribbons and Bry Guy has 9. So I think Mean Maxer is still the lead.
Min Maxer, they needed to nerf Min Maxer out of the game, it seems.
I think they succeeded.
Yeah, they managed to. I feel like you just Twin Strike here before you do anything else. Twin Strike is gonna... Maybe Phoenix Fire. Hey, does that do anything? Yeah. Actions needed to be taken. Actions were appropriately took. Any mid-range Sif, where he has the Spelljammers and then Knuckle Storm.
I kinda like this song list. I think this was not made by Nif, by one of our team members. You please actually wanted to play this list. But we
My
have
guy's approach of dealing with Mantra is just, I can deal more damage than you. Which one of the spells is that one? That's the thing that teleports you, right?
yes, that is Kiyomiuri. Move additional space. Which is surprisingly strong, like the one extra movement in this game is like
Yeah,
very
it's probably
good.
been able to win a lot of games in the over time. Yes, you Knuckle Storm? You don't have Mantra in hand, so
I'm not sure if this actually runs Mantra. I think this is just a 8 gates list. I don't remember.
it's more like Burning hits then, uncommon. But Brian is still pretty safe here. He shouldn't be worried.
No.
That's what we ring the jammer will be pretty buff, even if it serves its purpose and running your card.
Well, you don't really need cards at the moment as a Bry Guy.
And the
Yes.
slowest can card in existence, a 4-mana card that does nothing.
Yeah.
Uses to hog the tile to make sure that Niv can't do it and have mana forever.
Nif does have the Thunder Bomb here, so
Yeah, just not him.
that's pretty clean here.
You're saying the Mana Vortex is actually a card you would play outside Mantra. It just seems like there's no real use for it.
I still think about the Knuckle Storm here. And run away, child.
Interesting. Not really sure why you would run away here. You could just easily instead cover the. And there's a Mantra. Okay, then And the
everything
mana
makes
vortex
sense.
makes
Yeah.
more sense. Very bold of him to hold off all these cards. Oof.
Hi, Mara.
I have to do the old combo where you Imara.
I mean, that's a lot of damage Neve has in hand right now, so I don't know how much because I don't count Songhai, but it's a lot of damage.
Yeah, I never played Mantra enough to actually learn these breakpoints. It's like the amount of spells you cast time with Mantra times 2. So if you get like 3 spells, it should
Well,
be
he can get
12.
4 spells off now, so
Yes, 3 spells for 12 damage would be pretty broken. It's the first Knuckle Storm of the game. This is a pretty good draw still because you can like pretty safely just spiral next turn.
yep. And that's well, it's a lot of damage coming both ways.
This should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10.
Yep.
Yeah. The Bright Guy is saved by a.
He needs those Acer Heralds. Because the Imara is too slow to do anything here.
Oh yeah. Also, he decided to buff the Dervish, which he probably did to make sure that the Iron Ball would be easier to kill. Fights with it, and he's gone. Wouldn't have died to Scorn, for instance.
Yep. Well, there's the Acer Herald.
And Herald, so you don't die.
Celebrant. Signs First Wish. So Prykai cannot attack here.
No. I think he must have realized this himself.
And that's a spiral to the face end turn.
How much damage would Mantra have been there?
I think 6 at the least. 8.
Yeah, 6. It actually would have been 8, and you would have been able to heal for 3. I think you should have Mantra there.
Yep.
Like, you could have spiraled next turn, but getting the Mantra off here would have saved you 3 health.
Hmm.
If you replaced Spiral last turn with Mana Vortex, I think you have lethal. But that's obviously a gamble, unlike none other. It would be pretty crazy if you would hold on to Spiral in your opening hand this Mantra while you still had Mantra in hand.
Yeah.
I would not encourage you to make that play. Not feeling very well here. He's straight up not having a good time.
And he's doing the Acer Herald play too. Into undefined, so smells like a replay bug.
Yeah, but it looks like this is coming to a close.
That is true. Yeah. Mantra is gonna seal the deal here for.
If he doesn't
Neve.
take his time, he quickly seizes. What do you call?
Yeah, Neve isn't a player to waste any time.
It's a busy man. Busy man indeed.
Got a places to be.
Oh, it was the same amount of damage. It was an H. I was correct. Was Undying? I don't know.
Okay, so we have final. No wait. Final game from this match.
A Disciple? Who is that?
Yeah, he's some random
Type in the
dude.
chat below if you know who A Disciple is. The winner gets a free iPhone 4.
iPhone 4. Aren't they up to like iPhone 11 right now?
Yeah. But you know, it's if you get a car from like 2010 for free, wouldn't you be happy? If you get a phone from 2010, wouldn't you also be happy? So you can't be greedy. You gotta see the small things in life.
But the car doesn't need operating system patches like iPhone 4 that doesn't get any.
My brother's car's check engine light always glows because they don't think it's a mechanical malfunction. They think it's a computer malfunction. So
Yeah, that's
the car's from like 2003. It would need some patching.
Yeah.
The spaghetti code of Volkswagen.
yeah. My mechanic friend said that it's just easier to replace everything in the car than actually try to fix the computer errors. Like, just replace the computer.
Yeah, like when they made that car, like Windows XP around.
I'm running Windows ME in my car and I feel safe.
This thing can run Paint and Internet Explorer 3.0 at the same time. It's got 2 megabytes of RAM.
But yeah, anyway, coming back to the game.
No, I'm like, Knuckle Storm. Jesus.
Well, that's rude.
I thought
But
it
yeah.
was a good cutscene. I was like, yeah, yes, but he used Knuckle Storm. I would be so happy if I'm Alpha here. Spend 3.
But yeah, Aegis of Bile is from the Jewish disciples. Also has 6 tournament ribbons.
Yeah, he joined the party late, but he was a very good player.
Hmm.
He was like built this pretty much unbeatable like aggro Eva deck. That he like whipped everyone to death with it. It was pretty good, but really been able to perform very well in this patch. Seems stronger because you have more options and more tweaking.
Mm.
I feel like could definitely do some balancing on Reva to make her chooses not to play the Shaman there.
Yeah, that's kind
I
of
don't know
interesting.
about. I would have played a Shaman defensively, maybe. I mean, you have the Jammer in hand, or maybe you value the flexibility of having the thing come down wherever you want it to. Like, there's no chance of this Flame Blood's gonna stick.
Yeah.
You're not gonna buff the Flame Blood.
Well, now you have a pretty awkward turn ahead of you.
Yeah, that Void Pulse will come in handy though. You have how much mana? 4 or 5, yeah. 3 mana short, making the play I wanted you to make. Jammer, Shaman. But if you actually would have held on to play the Shaman, you could have played Jammer, maybe got some combo off. I don't know.
Yeah. I think he just needs to be happy with the whatever that thing is called and whipping. Husk, yes. Husk. You people pronounce everything weird.
Maven or Husks.
My Huska.
Isn't there like a Finnish name that goes like Husku?
Well, Huska is.
Just slap him in the face, Alpha. Come on, this is a burn deck. Don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Ah, more burn. Terrific.
Assert dominance. Just-
People is legit broken here because it both lets you push damage and heal. I think they used this to sweep against KK and it was completely ridiculous how they were able to do that. It's like a Mabelist with Flamebloods, Blaze Hounds, and the 4-mana spell that lets you deal 1 damage for each card in your opponent's hand, and they just 6 of them.
Darkseid, yeah.
I would imagine that these one deck, but who am I to know what decks is good against what in the counter scenario? I have proven myself quite incapable in such scenarios. Interesting.
Do you know how many sweeps we had this tournament? I'm counting like 3 or 4. Or 5.
That you've been swept, or that we've swept?
Well, in general, like how many sweeps there have been in total?
I mean, we swept KKK. Swept. I think Steps team.
I think they got swept. Yeah. We got swept.
And then we went 6-1 against you. And then KK got swept by Duelyst Disciples, and then we got swept by SS. So, like at least 5 or 6 or something?
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty massive number when you think about it.
Yeah, that you just create like one deck that just beats everything.
Yeah.
Last of the semifinals, but that game 1 was so sad we played against SS. That Flash, McCaffrey, Greater Fortitude, just the last 3 cards at 5 mana is so detrimental.
Yeah, I think it's like the first few games, if you lose all the good counters to the bad luck, and then it was just like, well, we just need to make something happen with the scraps. It's kind of hard.
Yeah, we had like 3 good decks against our opening deck, and then when all those 3 lost, it was like, oh, I guess we're playing a Dancing Blades Fae into this.
Yeah. Well, Nif takes hit of the Duelyst Disciples. I think we lost this series by a margin.
Really?
3-6, yeah.
That Mantra deck seemed to be doing some work, though.
It was pretty good, but then Sipon games with the liner lists, and that's kind of hard.
Sipon tends to have that effect where he just ends people's lives.
Yeah. Hopes and dreams.
Yeah, SS might get a taste of that too, or the Duelyst Disciples might get a taste of that from SS. Who knows?
But yeah, the final match of the tonight is gonna be Erratic Raptors from Toronto facing off Lorem Ipsum, which is kind of sad that Steph had to leave. But anyway, Lorem Ipsum got dropped, and also Erratic Raptors didn't make it to the playoffs by a tiny margin, I think. So.
Well, yeah, they were 3rd, so they played against Duelyst Disciples in the Summers. You kind of must gotta appreciate both of these teams' logos. Erratic Raptors obviously being a basketball reference, and Lorem Ipsum being like an advertisement. It's a placeholder text.
Yeah. I really like when there's the caret cursor in the Ipsum text still sticking out.
That's a nice touch.
Yeah.
I like them.
But yeah, Lorem Ipsum banned Dreamshaper, Blood of Air, Swan Avenger, Column Metallurgist, Raptors banned Blood Deer, Old Beast, Spelljammer, Columns Metallurgist.
Interesting to ban 2 Golem cards. I feel like the general theme is to ban either Metallurgist or Celebrant, and then you typically don't tend to ban Shaper, but they went with both of them. Lorem Ipsum. Avenger is also a bit of an odd choice, but I guess if Toronto has built their decks around Avenger, it makes sense.
Oh, it was not actually 4-4. I need to check that.
Yeah, but we could just say it was 5-3 or something.
I lost my standing spec, so I believe it was 5-3.
Pretty standard. We got Blood Tier and Metallurgist, which is common bans, and I'll be to remove Arcanists, and then Jammer, which is a bit of a controversial pick, if such a thing exists.
Duelyst only has controversy, so uncontroversial decks is kind of controversial.
Playing Duelyst is controversial in these things. It's just the final waking hours of this game.
I think if Lorem Ipsum bans like Dreamshaper, you should not ban columns. But if you just want to ban columns, then you should just not ban Dreamshaper.
Probably would have been tough just with a metallurgist. Like you're forcing them to play like more inconsistent lists if they want to go for golems, or you're forcing them to play like Skyrock Golem or something. Yeah. Either of which are very good.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to play columns if you don't have the metallurgist, so.
Oh. No,
and you don't want to play the Dreamshaper columns either if you don't have metallurgist typically. I mean, you can kind of make it happen with the Dreamshaper Celebrant and something stupid.
Celebrant is standalone good, so it doesn't actually need the golem surroundings.
Yeah. But
it's a 1/4 on its own, pretty manifold.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very good, but I'm not sure if you can fit in Dreamshaper with it. Because Dreamshaper as a card is pretty bad as a 2-drop 2/2.
So. They're 5/2, but I think they're lying. I think they were 2/5.
2/5.
I don't think Metallurgist is correct. I think Poncho Mango here is coming with a lot of big words, and I don't think he has any claims to back it up. It's the table.
But yeah, Gio is from the Lorem Ipsum, and Poncho Mango is from the Raptors. Also pretty unfortunate that Poncho didn't make it to the cast, but yeah.
No, he had to be at school while he's at the same time browsing Twitch.
These people with their responsible lives, that's just. I thought Duelyst was the only thing.
It's like, hey, now, like, why can't we play at 8? And it's like, well, it's not 8 at my place. And I'm like, bro, how am I supposed to know what place you're at and what time is there? West Coast? What West Coast? There's like a lot of West Coast, bro.
It depends where you're standing, where the West is.
Wait, there's a West Coast in Sweden, there's a West Coast in Finland. Like, it's all a matter of perspective.
Is there a West Coast in Sweden? I thought it was Norway.
West Coast is Norway. Heading up to the coast on a business trip, and then you go to Norway.
Yeah. And then everything is like 1,000 times more expensive.
And then if you live on the border to Norway and you go like, I'm just gonna leave the EU for a second, and then you take 2 steps out of the border and then you're in Norway. As you can see here, Poncho Mango is suffering from brain disease, which is why he's taking his sweet time on making plays. Poncho, just play the Portal Guardian and end your turn. How hard could it be?
But he's playing Battle Pets.
I'm playing Pax in the middle and Ray. Oh, we can destroy him with Pax Ray, because Pax will destroy the small.
I mean, that is the 1,000 IQ play, like. I will be so behind that, because you get the dervishes with the activation, and you also get the dispel on the obelisk, so.
Yeah, but you might actually dispel the dervish and not the obelisk. It goes for the fireblaze.
But I think if you play Riot first and then the packs, the Riot triggers before, so maybe then it dispels the obelisk so it doesn't hit the packs.
I wonder if that ever has been relevant at any point at any time. I wonder if anybody has sacked or Ray against what is it called, a lava storm obelisk?
Yeah.
You can make the big. How do you destroy him here?
Well, you can't destroy him with
Oh
the.
yeah, you just make this play and go, oh, just catch this.
Just play the counter.
This is probably why it deals 6 damage, just so it can destroy Obelisk. This was probably something they intended when they designed it.
That's probably why I don't like the card, because it's the perfect Obelisk counter. There's no other use for the card.
I hear you're playing Third Wish and Inner Oasis in the same deck.
Because you're playing Darius aggro. And you want the fireplace to survive, I guess.
Yeah, but if you want to play Inner Oasis, you want minions to actually stick. When you play Inner Oasis, you want to give everything +3/+3. But Dervishes doesn't stick, so they will disappear. They will not carry the buff with them.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm thinking. Poncho needs to find his own set of Third Wish into... Oh, what's that card called? Dunecaster? You can move up by Dunecaster off the pile, and you can Third Wish and just...
Yep.
Fly the thing into a corner and just take out the 0/4.
Yep. Or he could just cast Astral Phasing and be like a man.
Astral Phasing isn't enough to clear the artifact, though.
Astral Phasing the first wish into Ephemeral Dervish and be like...
Just spelling the thing.
This is my
It doesn't
value.
disappear, does it? It just loses ephemeral, right?
No. You cannot dispel Ephemeral thing.
You can't? I don't actually know how these work.
You can't. It's like the only keyword you cannot actually dispel in this game. Which is kind of weird.
Odd.
But I think when they made this game like in alpha days, they considered ephemeral like and dispel used to be like a different thing, and then they were like, you can't dispel this keyword for reason X, Y, Z. And then later on the game became dispel game. And then keywords just stuck.
Happening though. Despite having such a fun hand with the Inner Oasis and another Obelisk, he just decides to take out.
Yeah.
Most Poncho's second Fireblaze, so his options of playing another Fireblaze is like restricted.
Yeah, this is looking pretty bad for Poncho here. Can't really get rid of those fireplaces very easily. I mean, lava storms.
You can play a Wind Striker here and just go ham.
That will be the card.
I don't think you play Wind Striker outside. Like, the only reason you play it is because it's like kinda good enough to be played outside golems. Or kinda good enough to be played in golems. Outside golems, not so much.
I think the play here is to actually just move 2 up and play the regular Obelisk.
Jesus Christ.
Are you okay?
Me when I'm on I got tangled up in my mic cord. I swear.
I'm not sure we can put this on Twitch because that was so violent.
Aren't you sending all the VODs to Boronian, or is it like recording them afterwards?
I think Boronian is snatching them from the history of Twitch archives.
It's a shame he didn't do it for like all the tournaments. He just started recently doing it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that will just be lost to time.
Yeah. That's why he started doing it, because he
Like
noticed that we are not keeping the archives. So.
I mean, that's a thing. Like, that's some accounts do keep it, but I'm not sure like what the rulings are.
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of interesting tournaments that I kind of wish there was like still the VODs out, but.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. I feel like, in the interest of the game, there should have been like. I mean, if you wanted to promote your own game, maybe someone at Counterplay Games should have had like the specific role where like recorded these tournaments, and like when Faith did a stream and everyone was having a good time, they would like record it, and then would upload it like a week or 2 weeks later, so that it would be safe for posterity. Now, just a lot of things that you used to watch on Twitch, which is gonna be lost.
Yeah, they did have actually esports manager, and for the Duelyst World Champions, you had like casters, and it was a huge event, and it was super cool, and so on and forth. But yeah, I don't think those mods exist anywhere.
No, I feel like their approach. I wasn't around back then, but I'm not sure if there like has ever been anyone who's been able to like make a living off esports Duelyst. I think Yasuko was trying, and Grincher was trying to make a living off like streaming, but they weren't like competing in that sense.
Yeah.
But I think Grincher was in tournaments, but I think that was more like a.
I mean, you had the Mega Mokfai and the Tigris as well, and the Fate, and a lot of other streamers back then.
Yeah, but how much money was like from like you can make money off YouTube? I don't think anybody's like questioning that. You can make money off Twitch as well, but you know, could you at any point make enough money off Duelyst to just like survive with it?
I think Husuku actually had some kind of living out of Duelyst streaming.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like purely the tournaments, not like streaming or training.
Oh, no, not tournaments. No. Because I don't think there was actually any cash prizes or anything from the tournaments for a very long time.
I think there were, but I don't think they were like enough. I feel like the money that was actually given to you was like crowdfunded or like CPG went in with them. They were like no real.
Yeah, there was like no real money.
Yeah, it wasn't like Coca-Cola. It's like we want to sponsor this Ostracon tournament or whatever.
Yeah. I think that's like very unfortunate because I think Duelyst is a really good competitive game.
Yeah, but like it's sure, but you know you kind of need to have a financial viability in the game before you like try to make it.
Pantheron coming out. That's I really love Pantheron. It just feels good.
Pantheron be out here flexing.
Just feels right.
Just vibing, honestly. His arm position is always a little bit weird. It's like he's got the sickle, and then he's like using the arm to shield himself from something. What is he afraid of?
The reader.
Yeah, doesn't it cost 0 even though it's readers, right?
Yeah, it still costs 0, I think, because the it's an active effect. So I think like in some of the older patches with Duelyst, it will have actually reset the thing somehow because those kind of effects were kind of wonky. There's Big Brain here because he can actually clean up the Pantheron here with the flying dervish and just develop the board. Or he can do something very different.
I can make an Iron Shroud, 6 mana, and then Blood of Air.
Okay, I don't actually know what the point of that play was. Can you enlighten me?
Not sure if I can. Be here, and your screen share is like so low resolution for me that I have to watch on Twitch.
Oh, sorry.
I think it's my fault, or more so my connection.
Let me switch to Europe. Maybe that helps you.
That helped significantly, actually.
So we were actually in Russian server, so I'm not sure why it puts me on Russian server.
It's because you're like a stone's throw away from it. Hey, I actually got moving pixels instead of just like colors. This is beautiful.
I mean, this is kind of like the same thing. Like I'm Russian for Discord, but for the tournaments, I'm West European. Oh, that was okay. That was Ponzo's flying there. Right. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. I was confused when you asked me because I was like, why that thing can't take out anything. Will swing this game quite effectively.
But Geo has a lot of damage in hand, but not enough here. So, but he.
If those third wishes were global, that would be cool.
I don't think he can
Roshes and-
survive here. He can get rid of one of the Pantherans here, but I'm not sure if he can actually get rid of the Dunecaster here, and that's...
Imagine spending resources on clearing your opponent's 0 mana 8/8. How much damage does he actually have, though?
Not enough
Roshes.
to clean up the board there.
6. Yeah, like 6, and then 5.
I mean, if he had moved like diagonally to the left, he could have stayed away from the Pantheran, well, one of them. Then he could have played the Fireplace. He could have maybe cleaned up the 3 minions there, or 2 of them, and survived the Spelljammer hit. Maybe. I don't count that high, so.
Yeah, I feel like Geo just got frustrated there and was like, I'm gonna die either way.
Yeah.
That's how I reason when I lose. I'm like, oh well, I just lost. That's what you happen. Like, you get ladder poison, and it's like,
Yeah.
if a game, you just concede.
That's kind of the... I always like the idea that you never concede, and you just play out the game, because when you get frustrated like that, you kind of start conceding games that you probably should not be conceding.
Yeah, and then there's like a 1 in 1,000 chance that you that
Win.
your opponent just disconnects.
Yeah.
Kato sits there with his lonely line algorithm.
I'm digging his avatar though.
He's got the balls here. Let's see if Mana with his superior ribbon collection. Let's see if that has any sway.
I mean, this is already looking pretty interesting with the Imperious Kiago.
Yeah. I think the idea is that you play what is the card called? The 0 mana thing that flips your attack and defense.
Polarity.
Yeah, polarity. And then you play that, and then your Giago is pretty swole. But missing turn 1, of course, never really helps.
Yeah. Well, you can equip the artifact.
Was this the game I was in the voice chat of? Yeah, it was. Wasn't it? I was in the voice chat for some games. This is the last week of the regular season, right?
Yeah. Week 9.
Yeah, I've been in the voice chat here, but I literally have no recollection of any of this. I just realized now.
Well, I'm glad
Well,
you're
yeah.
like giving the emotional support to your opponents.
Yeah, well, at first it was like just them, and at first it was like just Poncho and Mana. So I talked more, and then like Noun Verb were going to them, and then Sab, and I was like, oh well, now there's a lot of people talking.
Well, we have the traditional mech opening here. Just saying that, you know, you did not come to play this game.
Yeah, it seems like Kato has played Aerial Rift and has chosen to snatch all the tiles. What defensive Disciple seems like a good play.
Yeah.
Or you could call this play, this particular play, because I was telling him that the play should have been move to forward, hit the 2/2, place the Disciple below the 2 where the 2/2 was, then flash freeze the bottom 1/4. I recall me saying that was the play, but he decided to make an inferior play.
I also think that was a better play because you're getting closer to his face, which is usually pretty important in this game.
Yeah, and you go minus. Oh wait, did he equip the gauntlet turn one? That's kinda. That's.
Oh, he's stunning the. Okay, he's trying to avoid the.
Wait, why did he equip? Oh, because he was up against Star when he did. He decided to reason that was the thing. Now I meant that he should have just stunned the bottom one instead.
Yeah.
And taken like one charge off the gauntlet.
I'm just not sure why. Why not just? Well, because he wanted to preserve the gauntlet, I guess, or something.
Yeah, or is it like just a misunderstanding between me and Mana? I said I should have made a play.
Yeah.
But it's fine here because you can play either a 3-drop into BBS or you can just slam Duelyst. So I don't think that you're necessarily that bad off here.
No.
Equipped
I mean, you have 5/5 on the board, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's unlikely that C4D0101 is gonna be able to deal with it very
I
easily.
think it's on Kato 101.
Neljä D0101.
Yes. Yeah, I think you just play Moonlit here or something.
Well, it's a pretty strong
Moonlight.
card here, but
Or you can just play a second Disciple.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like the second Disciple. You can stun the Force Field minion there, and
I don't think you can stun the Force Field minion because you can't reach it.
you need to be next to it.
Yes.
Who even
Yes,
designed this game?
Come again?
Who even designed this game? Nothing makes sense.
Yeah, I don't. I know that there would have been some alternate designs for like the egg.
Oh, you mean
She died, but I don't know what the alternate design for Elena was. There was some talks that it should have allowed you to target a friendly minion as well, but I don't think that was something that they wanted to do.
this is going for the dial display here? Boy, because the StoicRooster told them to, play properly.
I don't recall what I reasoned here. I think this is a good play because it makes it difficult for him to clean up the 5/4. Because he can't hit with both him, the force field,
Yeah.
and himself here. Unless he has a greater fortitude, but then you force him to have that. And then you still have a Duelyst on board.
But C4 also has one mech of Megazord here, but he probably wants to get the silver out and some mechs or something.
Yeah, his play is Flash Silver, and I don't think that's a very good. I guess you can Flash Silver here and just be like, how are you answering it? But the third card in the Mana's hand would say that there actually is an answer for Flash Silver.
Yep. Well, there's the
It's actually happening though.
oh, Macantor, okay. The typical Magmar response to any problem in life.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Get stuck in traffic, flash Macantor.
Frostfire of all things.
Isn't that for Vespers?
Yeah, it's for tombstones as well, it seems. 2 mana plus 3 attack seems awfully slow. How much mana do you have? You have 5 mana.
I mean, Hellstone is kind of awkward on the force field minion here.
Yeah, I think I would just have play the 5/5 here. You're kind of low on health,
Yeah.
but I think that you need to be the aggressor here because you don't want to die to like silver stuff.
Yep. There's the stun on the minion. Probably. Okay, just going face.
Oh,
Like a regular person.
yeah, they just be like aggro, aggro, go face. I damage.
Hit with general. Ah.
I'm gonna put him to 14 there, but your deck lacks first. Unless you draw 0 mana Divine Bomb.
Hmm. Oh, there's the Tectoring spikes.
Well.
Double Tectoring spikes. Oh, that cannon is pretty rough.
Kanon of Mechasaur.
Cannon of Mechasaur.
I think this is a pretty good play though. Where you can like flash freeze the mech and hailstone and just like you just freeze their entire board.
Yeah.
In place.
And go face. In the
Yeah,
between.
yeah. Obviously you try to kill them.
I mean, you could just Hailstone Mechasaur because it's like 5 mana or something.
Yeah, I can't remember the reasoning exactly. Why they chose to let the Mechasaur itself stick. Because this does evidently play into silver a bit, I guess. Now you have nothing really to combo silver off, so you're gonna need like flash silver into
The
Metal
Rashi.
Piece.
Yeah.
which would be lethal.
And then C4 is a Tectonic into Decimus.
Oh, that's the spikes is lethal, yeah. Would Kato have that though? Should have played Mystic. No, you need to go face. I think that you need to be brave. There's no point in being coward.
Yeah.
This is face hours. You're playing Elena in Fae. Did you lose here? I actually can't recall. I was in the DC. I should remember this.
Well, I would imagine Kato has the lethal here if he's playing Decimus. Okay.
Why would he hit if he had lethal? Sword.
What's happening?
Yeah, he just. I think he just gambled when he played the Flash Decimus.
Okay.
That's fair. Like, if that's your only out, then you need to play to it.
Well, that was an interesting game of the two very interesting decks. Alright, so we move on to the next game.
Never really got to see the fine bond aspect of that banner deck kick in. It's more like play stun cards, which worked well.
I just realized I probably should take a step out of the picture, but nobody saw that.
but you still threaten lethal, but stay away from spikes. I feel like you play aggressively for the sake of it.
Well, I think you should always go face because that's the only way you can win in this game.
I think I actually told them to replace the. No, I'm mixing things up. Mixing things up. I thought I was on Steph's team, but I recall I wasn't. I would have replaced either. I would have replaced the painter here. Just hoping for a sweet where you completely shut them off. But I can't recall what deck Toronto played here. They probably played like something stupid like Scarsing Knave or something.
And Steph is playing the beginner Songhai deck by accident.
Yeah, she's playing like some kind of budget deck where you play Scorn and Toad and Heartseeker. Just like, we're not playing a deck that costs more than 1,500 spirit today, boys. Let's keep it new player friendly. You can't even spend money on the game anymore. They can completely disable the option of doing that.
Yep.
When was the last time you spent any money in this game?
Not too long ago, actually. I think.
Do tell. When is long ago in your perspective?
I think it was like 1 or 2 years ago.
That's similar to me as well. I feel like that's decent. Like, I think it was like a few months after they released the patch, when they were like, "Oh, we're not gonna develop anymore." And then I wanted a more Origins MK2 skin, and then I spent like $20 getting that as an extra diamonds.
Yeah, I think I got when it was like a deal or some kind of. I remember getting that, or it was during the Christmas season or something when the skins came out or something. I remember.
Yeah, I also got some kind of deal.
Yeah.
Like, obviously my collection is pretty much complete at this point.
Yeah. Mine isn't, but you know, it's kind of hard to get a complete collection when you don't even have like most of the generals in the game.
So you.
I think I have like 10 games in Songhai, and then like Lion or maybe 60, and Magma around something 50 or something. I remember when you get the third general.
Yeah, the only thing I've been lagging behind is actually Vitruvian. But when we were playing in DWC this summer, I decided to take it upon myself to unlock Sif and start playing some Vitruvian games online.
Yep. I always gonna like. Yeah.
To the third gen of generals in Gauntlet.
I'm not sure. I think you can get them in the Gauntlet.
Yeah, because I played some Gauntlet in my days, and I should have been able to get it.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have been able to win 10 games with that, but I haven't played Gauntlet in like so long time.
I actually still have a Gauntlet run from like when Kara Tigers were a thing, which is like 4 years ago or something now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I had like 2 losses and I was like, yeah, I'm done with Gauntlet and I don't want to play Wadar anymore, and then it's just like never returned to it. It still has the same list going on.
Do you think that the balance patches needs to carry on though?
I should be able to buff my Tigers.
I think I have a Gauntlet run in the works. Maybe I should finish it.
I need to finish mine. I'm sure it's gonna be a great tech.
Why is it that I was in the VC for this game and probably saw the perspective of mana, and I still don't remember if we won or if Toronto won this or not?
Those are good questions that I don't know the answer to.
The blistering scorn here is really good though. Not gonna lie.
Kind of kills your Heartseeker, but it doesn't matter. It's okay. Vi kommer spela lille Duelyst.
Yeah, that's some impeccable Swedish right there.
Yeah. You should have heard me when I tried to order Big Mac.
Sweden.
Yeah. The cashier just said like, yeah, so what do you want for a drink?
Would you manage the order completely in Swedish?
No. I got confused when she started speaking Swedish to me.
Darn. Yeah, they should really educate those McDonald's cashiers in Swedish.
I think they're pretty well versed in Stockholm.
Yeah, but I doubt that Finnish is like top priority.
Or Finnish Swedish. Which is apparently a completely different language from Swedish, so, you know.
Finnish Swedish?
Yeah. It's our second language. We are supposed to know how to speak Swedish.
Yeah, well, it's like you speak it with an accent.
We completely mix up the pronunciation, like E is A and A is E and everything's upside down. But coming back to the game, there was a pretty nice clean from Steph hit there with the Pando and scorn.
Yeah, she's proving why balanced Pando is a thing. She completely cleared board, kept the battle Pando, and got a scorn, all because of her Heartseeker. The mana is just spurging out his draw cards. Oh, because he has a curve.
And Steph can just Paragon this board and go face.
Yeah, you can. Probably replacing one of the painters.
Yep.
You're playing painter next turn and then the EMP and then the government.
You could also just teleport the Pando and hit the Nekomata and clean up the board that way.
And you probably need a 4-drop or 3-drop. But I don't think you're like passing up on playing a minion for blinking.
That was a... You could have just moved the scorn first and then drop the Paragon, but not sure why she decided to do it this way. Because if you had moved the scorn first, then you could have hit face for 4 damage.
Yeah, but then he would have been forced to play the Paragon and.
Oh yeah,
dying.
then he cleans up the scorn as well.
And I think he wants to keep a board here so he can like test. Because Steph is essentially gonna be the playing passive here because he wants to get trial, and Mana needs to pressure Steph so that she doesn't get trial off and is in a position where she can just like spurge out her minions and just face damage all the time.
Yeah, it's pretty hard for Dawnheart to put up a lot of pressure against this deck, though, I would imagine.
Yeah, it would probably need some kind of like. I don't know what you really need here for mana. I was in the game, I should remember, as I said. But I think you take out the Paragon, and then you just force him to. I think I said you force him to like blink, but I think this is incorrect because right now you're giving him hit with the Panda without forcing him to blink, which I think is a mistake.
Then Steph can actually just clean up the board like once again with the blink.
Yeah, but I think she just take out the positioning is pretty good for mana because it means he can't play painter and get the thing. It's out of his reach.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate, but
I wouldn't say it's unfortunate if he positioned in such a way. I actually lost the game in Malta League once because they played around painter. when I was playing Arcanist, and I was like, oh well, I guess that Chakra stick, and then I just died to a Chakra Avatar because it's stuck.
That's called positioning in a board-based game.
Positioning in my board-based games.
What is
More
that?
common than you think.
Interesting that he decides to just go for the Void Hunter here. Or she.
Yeah, I guess you don't want to take the damage here. And the mana didn't mill a card. And you keep your Battle Panda around in case you want to play Queen of Artifacts and such.
But you're still getting like 5 damage to the face if Mr. Mana just goes face.
Yeah, but there was no way you can actually clean it off, I think.
Well, you could have played it, then move 2 forward and hit the thing.
Yeah, but they could have gotten like something big. And typically, some rule is you never pop. Like this kind of Dying Wish minion on your turn, you force your opponent to do it, and then it gives you one more turn to react to it.
True. But now Mr. Mana could just hit it on the Pando, I guess.
But Steph has a really nice hand here with the high cost minions. Void's taking damage, I feel like she's gonna win the long game.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting if Mr. Mana is gonna go. Mr. Mana is gonna go for the face road or just go for the value route.
Mm-hmm. Gonna go for the Chakram road.
Ah, that would be cruel. No Chakram. Just Kron.
I have a vague recollection of that happening actually. I was bummed that Mana I already had replaced.
I mean, that's a very good pull anyway.
Yeah, it's a fantastic pull.
Oh, in the Desolator, that's
It would have been slightly more fantasticer if done already.
Steph unfortunately has answer to all of this mess.
Yeah, she's just in peace, but she still has She still has 2 sizable bodies left, so she's not out of the woods yet. And obviously, you clean off the Desolator in case they have Consuming Rebirth, so you don't have to deal with it again.
Yeah.
Probably try to position EMP in such a way that it plays around Chakram and make sure 5/3 can't hit it. That would be my recommendation.
I'm not sure if you can play around Chakram here. Oh, yeah, you can, yeah. You can just pop it next to the Herald. Somehow. Or Steph just wants to block the Coron there.
She decides to replace the Mageborn, but she gets it instantly back. I wouldn't have replaced that. Maybe she was looking for a Herald or something.
Yeah. I mean, blocking off the PPS for Mr. Mana seems pretty big though, so I'm not sure if it's worth.
Yeah. And now she's only missing 8 or 2, I believe.
No, Steph has played 2.
Oh, what's she missing then? She played 3, 4, 5.
She played also 1.
Oh, she never played a 6-drop. That's true. She never played a 6-drop, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's correct, yeah. Well, there's the Chakram coming out.
So she can go Dagona into...
Well, you could also dance in Blades and trade the Herald here.
Yeah, but I think you want to like find the trial.
Yeah. If that's a Reaper of the Nine Moons, that's a pretty rough turn.
I think he has a mana for that, right?
No, no, not with one.
Could be a shaman though. That would be pretty good.
Carrion Collector. Still pretty nasty there.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad.
Oh, EMP is very tempting here.
That you just probably play the Dagona into Ox. I don't think.
Well, if you can't play the Ox, then I think just EMP is probably the correct choice.
It's not bad, but I think
because if you play Dagona, they can just trade off the Reaper into the Dagona and Carrion Collector, and then it's just...
Yeah, no, that's fair. But you also unlock trial and you get a 5/5, so... But then EMP was better here.
But if they don't have the trial yet, if they're missing like one.
Greedy old player who don't know how to make plays anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's why Lorem Ipsum is in the finals.
One of the Radic Raptors. Still haven't gotten any deck submissions from anybody, sadly.
Well, Poncho Mango will deliver, don't worry. Got nothing better to do in school. But yeah, this is looking very tough for Steph here.
Yeah, she was thoroughly in control just a few turns ago.
And now the Desolator's coming back to haunt her.
Yeah, and even the rare juxtaposition isn't going to be enough. Even if you manage to have that.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way out of this situation here. You'd need to Dagona and somehow get rid of all the minions.
Yeah, no, I think this is...
Actually, if you had juxtaposition here, you could clean up the board.
Yeah, Juxta would have actually probably have allowed to live. But it's questionable if she actually has that card.
And also Mr. Mana has mana to do the double Desolator here, so it won't actually matter. Okay, that's pretty good. Still not enough, but...
you can't get trial off.
Yeah.
Like, if she would have gotten trial off, this game would have been,
over.
But actually have died if she got in trial off that turn.
Yeah. It's very impressive that Mr. Mana somehow managed to get just the right cards to push that back so much. I think that Crown Pool was like the key thing.
Yeah, Cron pulls and Chakram pulls.
Yeah. Yeah, the Chakrams definitely helped. Or the Chakrams. And there's the sad farewell for the Kalius. Where am I? There we are. Okay, we have still one game left. These games were super long.
Yeah, that one traveled well over 9 mana.
So the last game of this series is gonna be Ticked Invasion of Mr. Mana once again. So we see some last banner action.
It seems like he's playing Cryonic Potential thing.
Well, 6+6 for 3 mana is a pretty good value.
Yeah, but you need to find the Gravitable first. If you want to do it, you can do it turn 2, I think. No, turn 1 is player 2, but turn 2 is player 1.
Hmm.
Lightbender is an interesting introduction. Inclusion in the stack, it feels a little bit off considering that you want to buff your things. Wolf Raven.
I mean, that's what they always say, like Lightbender, like you don't want to dispel your own units and so forth, but like Lightbender is still a huge utility card in a lot of situations, so I don't strictly speaking see it as a bad card, even if you sometimes have to dispel your units.
I'm just feeling like if you Lightbender, you're on wall after you buff it or something. That's just what I'm thinking. Also, big props for playing the Crystal Cloaker.
It's a big guy. Soon, maybe.
It is a big guy. Like, you could have played Cryptographer here. But I would have wanted him to do like DBS into Wolf Raven. But maybe he has some kind of idea what he wants to do next turn. I don't know. Because 4 mana play. Or plays a 3 mana flyer BBS. That's his entire turn for 4 mana. Right now it's like, I guess he can move to infiltrate the 2/3 and then he can like play the Wolf Raven.
Yep. I mean, the 4/3 kind of dominates the middle board right now, so usually people just move diagonally up there like that.
Yeah, you don't want to let anything be hit before.
Yep.
Carry on, okay. I would replace a Herald here. Just put the dragon. Like, you have a Cryonic Potential, but not exactly sure if you're the one who needs to have its health up high. I feel like you need to be aggressive here, and Herald's just not gonna be cutting it for you.
You could Lightbender all the tiles and the Carrion Collector, because screw you, that's why.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be bad, like, kind of can conk his hand a little bit.
Well, looks like that's just gonna go for the full Raven here. Approach the... Okay. Seems like they're juggling between 2 plays here.
Yeah, I feel like this was the worst of the plays. I think if you were going for the Wolf Raven play, you weren't taking the tile and exposing, going like down the card for crypto. I think there was bender or defensive thing, because now your cloaker is out of position too.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be irrelevant for at least one more turn before it moves into position to strike.
Yeah. This also gives Mr. Mana kind of a lot of breathing room.
Plays that you're giving the collector an opportunity to suicide. Forcing him to have a removal card in hand could be quite useful. Or like a sack of card for some guy. But if you're letting him round to 5 mana, then he should probably find a play nonetheless. You could play Reaper of the Night Moons, you could play Diolphus, you could play Nicomon or something.
Yeah, that's not a... viable plan if you want to go on aggressive.
I just make the trade here. Looking fair. Things will never be cheap.
So it looks like Mr. Mana is gonna be dumping his hand quite a bit here.
Dumping his hand, but easily replenishing it. And you can see here he's rewarded for his patience of holding on to his Lightbender.
This is the time to shine.
Yeah, Lightbender here is super good. If you can... like 3?
Yeah, it's super important to get the Dawnheart player down to cards and minions.
Yeah, I think you just Lightbender here. You Lightbender, and then you trade in the Wolfraven.
Yep.
And then you move in the Colloquy into position.
Yep.
Probably keep the crypto around. Oh, he chooses to retain his health leader. I think that's incorrect. I think I absolutely would have gone Phaser. Or use my face to clean up the thing. Oh no!
So they might just... they're just not gonna dispel anything. Just go face. That's a bold move, but I like it.
Oh, well, bold move. It feels like one of those moves where it's like if they have one answer card, you lose the game.
Ironclad will be pretty rough.
Just move them like this little maneuver. Put them from 3 cards to 6 cards.
Yeah.
Did give you a pretty big flyer, but
I mean, sometimes you see the player and he just have to go with it. Like, how many times do you get a 10-8 flyer?
Well, never, because Amber Worm is 10-7. Both is short. I was so upset when they released that card because I was playing a lot of Gauntlet back in the day, and I was like, damn, this shit is gonna kill so many Gauntlet games. And sure as hell it did. Like, you had a stolen game and you like, bam, 10-7, and then you couldn't answer it, and then you just lost it.
Good old 10-7s. Wasn't it like a 6 mana or something?
It was 7 mana.
Okay.
Throw Morocco was 6-5, but I was like, yeah, and now you get punished, and your little maneuver just cost you the game here. That little maneuver is gonna cost us 51 years. Or how does that quote from Interstellar go?
I don't know, I've never seen the movie.
Ooh. Only BBS.
Well, that's a rough board, but now you have Lightbender for these situations.
Yeah, I feel like Lightbender is well overdue. Oh, Razorback.
You play a defensive Razorback.
Yeah, I don't think there's much you can do here on placing the 2-drop was incorrect because you could have done 4-drop and 2-drop.
Oh, it's no piercers.
Interesting selection of cards.
I think this is kind of feels like a budget aggro list, kind of.
I just that's kind of the thing. But Spelljammer isn't budget, but I guess it's a card that you would tend to draft over time.
Well, that's kind of the first card you have to draft, I think, if you're...
I drafted my Spelljammer specifically from mid-range Calculus before Backazorian, and Spirit well spent in retrospect.
I mean, Spelljammer, it's just a good card in like every faction as a card draw, so...
Yeah, we've banned it on a few occasions.
Yeah. I remember when it was like in the 2-draw days, it was basically your opponent draws 1 less card.
Yeah.
Which is why it's called
So
Spelljammer.
No, when actually both players, not just the opponents. So you would, like, if you played it, you would draw 1 less your next turn.
Yeah.
So like you were hit by the one less draw instantly, and your opponent at their next turn. So it was like
Awkward.
that just seems like a pretty nasty chocolate play. Imagine if they would have light bendered.
Okay, this Reaper is gonna be bad news. I mean, it's not as bad as like in the song high list, but
Consuming for the Desolator.
well, the PPS doesn't really make a difference to the Desolator here. Might even be worse to PPS here.
That was probably their intent. They put it like that to make sure. I was in the voice chat, so I should have known.
Well, Clock kinda gives them some kind of lifeline here.
Now let's see if they make that Concealing Shroud BBS mental play.
It's not very strong though.
Well, they're not in a very favorable position.
I'm equal to just equip Snowpiercer, Shroud, and just go face and pray.
Yeah, honestly. No, that's supposed to get at the beginning.
Oh, they didn't PPS. They should have PPS'd, I think.
They were probably holding for the mentor because it didn't refresh
true,
next turn. If it were to refresh, it would probably have done it.
I mean, the unfortunate thing is that Mr. Mana can block himself off, so Dictin doesn't actually have a way to reach him here.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be difficult for Dictin to get in here. Mana is probably going to double body block to play around Hellstone, presume.
Yep.
Dictin doesn't have. But that wouldn't Mr. Mana know.
There goes the Desolator. So now he's pretty safely out of lethal range. And Dictin is trapped, which is usually what I see from when our play is happening.
I think he needs to plan his shrouds here or this is over.
Yeah.
No, this is just torment here.
Yep. This is just rough.
This is the last game of the set, so this is the last Team Wars game.
This is the last game of ever played in Team Wars. Ever again.
Oh, no. There's a few more. It's the last played by Laura Mips and Dictin in particular.
Yeah. Now I just feel melancholic.
I can imagine that there's like...
Yeah.
You kind of get that feeling like when you're eliminated from a tournament, because it feels like you're like always in control of what you're doing, but right now you're like
yeah, this is very rough. Like a feeling, undoubtedly, for the...
Especially as this will be the last time ever.
Yeah.
Their one and only chance. Unless Duelyst 2.0
He's hoping.
will try getting something up and running. We will see if and when, and if there's any interest in running Team Wars.
And Mr. Mana takes the game with the wall plays the Desolator.
And take 10 dice to the Desolator spam, as so many others have died before too.
Hmm. So that's the... that is indeed the Team Wars.
It is the last regular season. How was your season? How has your season been?
Well, could have been better. Had a rough couple of games, and I didn't win a single game this season, so
You didn't win a single game, like,
no,
at all.
at all. I think in the
Wow.
World Champions I had like a 80% win rate, and I was like, no, can't, won't. But it's pretty rough playing with Truvia when everybody's banning your cards against you.
Yeah, they're kind of soft for that. They don't like having their cards banned.
Yeah.
We were having a lot of fun until the semifinals, where we kind of got eliminated, and then we kind of went from winning this thing hype to like, round game kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a must have been a bit of rough, since you guys were pretty huge favorites going into the finals.
Yeah, we made some questionable mistakes going into the semifinals, and in combination with them having very very good luck. But I feel like we ultimately screwed up a little bit with our bans and our deck solutions.
Yeah, it's really hard like at that high level, and I think like also the opponent teams also like picked up their game a lot in the past few weeks. So you were playing against SS, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that they particularly probably just started taking things a bit more seriously.
Yeah, I think so too. In fond memory of Duelyst.
Yeah. But yeah, this was the last stream of the regular season anyway. We'll see what happens with the semi-finals and finals casts, and if they're gonna happen and who's gonna do them. But the official poop casts are gonna be retiring. No more perks.
Yeah, well, no more game, no more casts.
Yeah. It was not the way I wanted it to end, but this is the way it has to be, my friends. Do you have any comments or parting words?
Well, it's been I've been on your stream a few times, and I think it's been fun, and thank you for letting me come on here, and we will see if there will be any more playoff streams. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any more. But I think that IC will stream from his perspective in the finals.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And, I don't know. Maybe we will stream ours. Maybe Boronian will upload. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
He has recorded and then posted to YouTube. Never live streamed it.
Yeah, I've noticed that he puts your side of things, which is very interesting to hear the voice chats and everything. Like that's the best part of Teamworks anyway.
Yeah, you mute me from DWCW.
But yeah, it was great having you, and thanks for joining me co-casting all these years, or year, or 2, 3.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. Maybe we will cast it with 2.0. Who knows?
Yeah, hopefully soon. But yeah, and good luck with the finals or semi-finals or some finals. Second place.
Bronze game, in fact.
Yeah, bronze game. Good luck with the games, and to everybody else, good luck, good night, and have a good last few
Good night, have fun.
weeks.